safe haven in hard economic times. Is it time for you to hedge against inflation and economic instability with gold? To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, text my name, Buck, to 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless five-star reviews, I trust Birch Gold to help me protect my savings with gold, and you can too. It took us decades to get into the tangled mess we're trying to unpack now. How long will it take to get out of it, and at what cost? Text BUCK to 989898 today. Text BUCK to 989898 today. James Carey joined the United States Marine Corps after being inspired by his grandfather, who also served our nation. James loved being a Marine, but his life would change forever during a training exercise. James lost consciousness and nearly drowned. The incident resulted in brain injury that left James blind and unable to use his body and susceptible to memory loss.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation built James a specially adapted smart home to enable him to live more independently. Thanks to the generosity of friends like you, the lives of America's heroes and their families are being improved.
James Carey and so many other service members and first responders have paid a high price to keep our country and our communities safe. Through Tunnel to Towers, friends like you have said thank you, not only through words, but through actions.
America's heroes need your help now more than ever. Help heroes like James and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org. It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
The phones are ringing off the hook on Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's the White House description of countries calling about new trade deals.
About 70 countries are seeking to negotiate lower tariff rates, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says.
They will be one-stop shopping for each and every country. They will be, as the president said again, tailor-made, not off the rack.
Leavitt says economic deals could go beyond just trade balances.
That means discussions of foreign aid, of our military presence in these countries, how those troops are paid for.
President Trump says he spoke with South Korea's acting president about a shared pipeline project and U.S. military protection.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. China, however, will face even higher levies when new tariffs begin tomorrow after missing a deadline to rescind a retaliatory tariff on U.S. goods. Democrats say the Trump tariffs will hurt consumers and businesses.
The U.S. economy has gone from the envy of the world to a laughingstock in less time than it took to finish March Madness.
Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden says investors and retirement funds are in purgatory. Right now, stocks turning lower an hour to the close after an earlier rally evaporated. The Dow's now down 23 points. The White House sending a message to accused gang members after last night's Supreme Court decision allowing a wartime law for deportations.
Our message to the monster Tren de Aragua and MS-13 terrorists still hiding illegally inside our country is clear. Deport yourself now, or you will be locked up and sent back to your home country.
Spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt calls the ruling a smackdown to a district court judge they say has tried to stop the president from using constitutional power to protect communities. The Supreme Court also ruled migrants subject to removal under the Alien Enemies Act must receive notice and time to challenge removal. Leavitt also telling reporters this weekend talks with Iran will be direct. Iran disputes that. America's listening to Fox News.
U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active-duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis sniffing away properly with my green ink of coloring pen, a sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, the mechanical magler at the controls. It's Flounder, and it's Tuesday, and the Braves are here. And
yeah.
So,
not like yesterday.
No, not misunderstanding. It could have been a lot of things.
What idiot would say they were yesterday?
God, probably someone we all,
know and love.
Anyway, probably a girl at fault of some kind. We can always just blame the chicks. Anyway, how's it going? Pete Davis and Flounder and the Braves in town, and the Final Four thing is now over. There's a champion, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. Holy Crap at Sports. We got Pete's Tweets, and a special surprise. Yes, we have another episode of some live entertainment to bring just a teeny little sparkle of joy into your otherwise miserable lives. Oh, there you go.
Could be the last one.
Why were you announcing that? Oh, well, you could be dying. Yeah. In fact, that is looking worse. Pete, yesterday showed he got bit by something. And the first thing I said was, I hope the hell it wasn't a brown recluse, because a brown recluse spider means you're going to die.
No, not every time.
Well, you're probably going to die.
Thanks, Mr. Optimist here, Mr. Happy.
I loved it when the guy said, my brother got finger cancer. Oh, God, well, he's got like 3 weeks, man. Really? No, I don't.
Well, so far, no side effects. But I did wake up sleeping in the corner of the ceiling this morning.
There you are. Webby-looking fingers are sticking to the steering wheel, are they? Anyway, I would definitely get it.
I'm going to go to the Doc in the Box on the way home, because it's looking...
It looks a little bigger, but it looks lighter. It doesn't. It's hard to tell whether it doesn't look infected.
It's tough underneath it.
Yeah,
like a golf ball underneath.
Oh, really?
it.
Well, then it's obviously a tumor.
It's a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Spider tumor.
Spider tumor.
In fact, she laid her eggs in there. You got a oh my God, you got a whole nest of eggs. Oh my God, hey Flounder, Pete Davis, come in and look at us. It's unbelievable. Pete Davis has got a whole nest of spiders in his arm. Oh my God, show the little people.
Seriously?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm probably squirming around in there.
Probably in my veins.
Going into your eyeballs, coming out your ears. Like a freaking tapeworm or something.
Okay, let's change the subject there. Moving along.
Yeah. Anyway. By the way, we do have actually 2 medical type things to talk about here during the show today.
We do?
Flounder.
Oh, yeah.
And my energy drink.
Oh, by the way, bad news.
What?
$5 Mega Millions now.
Oh, in fact, let's do that now.
I screwed up twice and bought 2.
I printed this on my Flounder sheet of my time for ads and stuff like this, and I printed this out, and the deal. And by the way, I'm not sure about this. Tell me one thing there, Batman. Riddle me this. It says in this story, Mega Millions rules boost cost and odds of winning. Lottery players are going to have a shot at more billion-dollar jackpots and slightly better odds under new Mega Millions rules. What new rules? Improvements come. They have to shell out $5 for one ticket, but jackpots will grow at a faster rate. Sales will rise. Biggest change is a price. Higher jackpot can start at $50 million rather than $20. Quickly, we'll start. Yeah, but what's this about a new odds? What odds? There's no different odds.
I think less people will do it, so your odds will increase.
Well,
if there's less people in it.
Well, on the other hand, if there are fewer people buying, there are fewer chances of somebody winning the jackpot. So again, the more tickets you buy, the more chances you have. But the odds don't change. The odds are still 1 to a trillion. Unless they change the amount of numbers, the odds will never change. The only way to change the odds is to have 5 numbers instead of 6. And so they're lying about this crap. Anyway, is that my phone? Get out of here.
Yes, it is. That's your phone.
Spam, Risk. Give me spam. Go away, spam. I hate you. I thought I turned that down. And by the way, how come I have to open my phone now in order to turn it down to get to the second face of it? And give me, God, I hate freaking technology.
The question, are you going to buy more? Because I'm
going to buy. In fact, I'm saying this on the way. I think it's going to be worse. I would rather buy $10. I would rather buy 5 tickets for $10 than 1 ticket for $5.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, who doesn't think that way? I mean, if you're going to spend $5, but obviously, if you're broke and you need every nickel, that's. But if you're going to spend $5 for a ticket, then you might as well spend 10 and get a lot more chances.
If it got to 100 million, I would always buy an extra one. The quick pick. But I'm not going to do that with it. If it gets to 500 million, I might buy one.
I mean, but again, I'll buy a ticket. But I don't like it. And again, I'm a terrible gambler. I won't play poker because I'm the guy at the table who doesn't know that he's the loser, and and everybody else knows that I'm the loser. So that's the way it goes. Anyway, so all right, 308 already. Come repeat and flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230 if you want to join us. We got a trillion things to talk about here today, including we never got to it yesterday because Donald Trump took a lot of the show. Yes, thank goodness. I mean, we're always glad to do it. But we were going to talk about the new dire wolf species. We'll get to that in a second. Also, a good move by President Trump today, sacking a girl admiral, a United States Navy girl admiral, who showed complete disdain for the President of the United States, who happens to be the Commander-in-Chief woman. And she showed total disrespect. And I don't know whether he's going to let her retire. He ought to bust her down to freaking private. Boy, would that send a lesson. If he busted her down to private and took away her freaking retirement, or gave her retirement as wages of a private.
Well, tell him why he did it.
Well, here we go. A couple things. Here it is right here. This Admiral girl, a Navy Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield, the only woman on NATO's military committee, was kicked out. The first woman to need the Naval War College also. The letter came in from Pete Hegseth. The list of 20 general officers or senior admirals who were using diversity, equity, and inclusion and similar left-wing initiatives. And she made this clear about how she feels about women's empowerment, gender equality and equity, transformational crap like that. She apparently refused to put President Trump's picture up.
Or Pete Hegseth's.
Or Pete Hegseth's. I can't say Pete Hegseth. My gosh, mate. In the NATO office, and something else just happened too. Not only the picture. She said, we'll just wait him out 4 years.
Yeah, we'll wait him out.
I mean, and now Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do I hear about that?
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's mad because the government has spent almost $5 billion for furniture in the last 4 years, and no one's at work.
Oh, I thought this was about the...
No. Marjorie Taylor Greene's mad about the furniture.
Oh, okay. I thought it was... She also bought $5 billion for the furniture for the Navy. I thought, oh, my God, that alone. Okay. Well, sorry, I jumped the gun. I misunderstood. I was too excited about talking about how he sacked the freaking girl admiral. Screw you, lady. Honestly, you're supposed to be a freaking leader. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to have people like me, a Marine, say, yeah, I'll die for you. Sure, you tell me where to go and I'll go.
She's a bureaucrat. We'll wait him out 4 years. That's what they all think. We'll wait him out. You're making some noise in there.
What happened?
That's my allergies. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's okay. You all right in there?
Yeah, it's my allergies. I have the mic on.
In fact, by the way, I keep forgetting that that's true, and I heard him talking about it on the morning show this morning about the level of the allergy problem today is horrible. And I can feel it. I can tell it. I've been, and for the last several days.
Yeah, over the weekend, it was up to 14,000.
It's the highest ever, supposedly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 200.
I don't have allergies, so I feel lucky.
You are lucky.
Only the pollen, it just gets in your eyes. Yeah. It's so thick.
Well, no, I mean, it does so many other things. But again, I'd rather rather. I mean, I'm not suffering. I blow my nose a lot and I sneeze, stuff like that. But I used to take shots twice a week.
I had to do the same thing, Timmer. And you had to wait
your
there.
life.
Yeah, because you have to wait there half an hour after the shot to make sure there's not an allergic reaction.
And wait before you get there, and then it's a whole thing. You have to drive there and wait there and get the shot.
Take your pants off, bend over.
Twice a week. Yeah. No, I mean, but anyway. So they sacked the admiral. Good. One more kind of military quick thing before we get on to all kinds of good stuff here.
You notice a dearth of management types here today.
Well,
Have you noticed that?
Braves are in town.
No. What else is not in town but close?
Oh, the Masters. Yeah.
They're all
the drive
at
to
the
Augusta.
Masters.
I'll be darned. Well, they have that inside stuff there. It's got to be, They can probably get to play after the
private plane.
They'll play when the Masters is over, they allow the members of the press to play the golf course on the Monday after the Masters.
No, they let one. Remember? Bill Caiaccio, who used to work with us, won the lottery and got to play. And he called his wife. He called the boss. I forget who the boss was. Yeah. And he called his wife and says, "Can I play?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course you can play."
Yeah, absolutely. And I turned down an invitation to play at the Masters.
I've heard that story, you moron.
Idiot. Well, I had a girl. It was jeez.
It's always women that screw these things up.
Well, it's true. It was a guy. I
was supposed to go to college, and I stupidly went to Georgia State,
Oh, my God. Anyway.
What was I thinking?
And another kind of a military thing we'll take
with the wrong head.
Yeah, the big one.
Anyway, oh my God. I got a tag office thing. We got medical things. We got news and stuff. I actually had an experience at the tag office today, which is a double weird whammy, and I can't believe it. And I have good news and some strange stuff. All right, 313, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. How's your Tuesday? Braves are in town, and everything's going to be fine. Yeah, right now.
Tonight?
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
Boy, it's a beautiful time of year to plant those trees and stuff. And you landscapers, the Stovall & Company, your locally owned family wholesale landscaping supplies business, is ready to go. In fact, we're going to be doing a show up there next week. We'll tell you more about it later. Stovall & Company, this is a family business, been doing this for 75 years. And because their name's on the company, if you need boulders, they get your boulders. You call and say, I need some bricks and patio stuff and trees and bushes. Look out your window. It's already on the way. Well, it kind of seems like that. Special requests, job site direct delivery, hassle-free problems, quality stuff. And they got your sod, they got your patio concrete. How about an irrigation water system? They've got it all. Look them up on the web, StovallInc.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
True Prep, Atlanta's leading preparedness store, has two incredible deals going. The Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 3 AR-15 for just $649, featuring a mid-length gas system, 15-inch M-LOK free-floating handguard, and a 30-round PMAG. Plus, get 1,000 rounds of check-made, brass-cased, box prime 223 ammo for only $399.99, or 20-round boxes for just $899 each. For directions, visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. True Prep. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes. But one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Its intelligent technology is intuitive. Its responsive performance, responsible. Turbo power with a hybrid assist, a digital yet sensual cockpit, and sporty elegance helps make the C-Class a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan for just $469 per month for 39 months with $46.63 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's spring sales event. Visit today to see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through April 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Through the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, your support makes lasting differences in real lives, like the lives of the Clark family. U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Jesse Clark's military service came to an end after a chemical exposure caused a large tumor to form in his brain. Well, as a result, he is paralyzed on the left side of his body, legally blind, prone to memory loss now, and in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. But friends like you helped Tunnel to Towers build this hero a new smart home to help him live a more independent life. There are so many more families like the Clarks that need your help. Since Tunnel to Towers' founding after the horrific events of 9/11, we cannot forget. Not when they've sacrificed so much for us. America's heroes have given us so much, and together we can say thank you in a lasting and meaningful way. Please show your support now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Yeah. David Gilmour, Pink Floyd, baby. On this day in 3 years ago, 2022, Pink Floyd reunited to record their first material, the new stuff, and first in 28 years. A protest song against the Ukraine war 3 years ago. Hey, Hey, Rise Up featured David Gilmour and Nick Mason alongside longtime Floyd bassist Guy Pratt and Nitrim Shanghaknikny on keyboards. The song is built around a refrain from Ukrainian singer, the well-known Andriknik Karushna-Rukna-Yuk-Yak of the band Boombox.
Who doesn't know him?
Gilmour was inspired after being shown Karukna-Yuk-Yak's Instagram feed showing footage of himself in Karyos Shofto Shvarskas.
I only put this on there so you would have to read this.
Fully armed and ready to fight the Russian invasion, ladies and gentlemen. So, dear God bless you. Here we are. It's not singing for
just blast this.
The freedom of Ukraine. Oh, golly. Oh, wow. That was
point the speakers at the Russian troops.
Oh, God, that'll do it. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, mercy. And by the way, our birthday list includes Dean Norris. You know who Dean Norris is, 62 years old. In Breaking Bad, he was Hank. Also, Under the Dome. I don't know what that is.
It was a stupid Stephen King thing, as all of them are. But he was also the girl's mother in Ghosts, which is the big show on. Did you ever watch that?
Oh,
Ghosts?
my God, I did. I don't know what happened. I watched the first
It's a
2
great
seasons.
show.
It is a very clever show. Yeah, it was no laugh track. It was very clever adult comedy.
Yeah. Still is.
And I don't.
Thursday nights.
You know why? Because I stopped watching mainstream television.
I record it, and I go back and over the weekend and watch it.
I look at the TV Guide every night just kind of because I know I've got
the
stuff.
You look at the what?
The TV Guide. What do you call it?
Is that like the Saturday Evening Post?
Shut up.
Call yours, maybe.
Look magazine.
Look in Life.
We had those on our coffee table, mister, along with National Geographic, damn it. That's where I saw my first pair of naked boobs, as I recall.
TV Guide.
I just eat me.
Was Lassie on the cover? How about William Conrad? Cannon.
Yeah, Cannon. Or Broderick Crawford. Leave your blood at the blood bank, not on the highway. I'll see you next week on Highway Patrol. Remember that? Broderick Crawford. He also played. Didn't he play Caesar? Or
no, he was in the one about Huey something.
Oh, Huey Long. Yeah,
Huey Long.
Yeah.
But they called it All the King's Men.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That goes back a while. Anyway, okay, and I didn't. Well, I'll do a history thing later. We're all right. Much fun here. Let's see. 322 news. You've got a lot of news. Oh, I have to do this. I feel so remiss. I've really been out of it since we went on vacation. I had my birthday thing, and so many people did so many things to help put together fixing up my dead chopper. It's been dead for 5 years, and I didn't really want to spend the money because it would be ridiculous to try to fix it up. I was stupid and selfish, so I just said I'm just going to let it sit there. Anyway, so Kevin, my Delta buddy, took it upon himself. He got with my daughter Jennifer, and she contacted some people that she knows and put a Facebook thing and YouTube. It's unbelievable now. A mechanic named Steve Studstill. He is a well-known Harley and a motorcycle mechanic, and Steve Studstill rebuilt that chopper, and I'm telling you, it's a monster, and it's just spectacular. And I am in your debt and his debt, and I just wanted to say thank you, because I haven't really said thank you to all the people who helped out, and it was remarkable.
Have you fallen off of it yet?
In fact, I don't want to spend the time because I'm talking too much about me, but I do have a story about being able to legally ride it.
That's right. You got to get a license, don't you?
Have to get a tag. No, well, that too. But I got anyway. So I've got that. We'll talk about that later on.
So you're driving around the Sears parking lot right now. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you have to get to the Sears parking lot, so that kind of defeats the purpose. Well, officer, I swear to God, I was going in the parking lot with private property. Come on, you're killing me here. So
I've said to a friend the other day about that, how you got the chopper back, and I've said something about. He goes, "How far did you get?" and then he goes, "I know how far you got, all the way to the crash site."
Yeah, the scene of the crime. They'd scrape him off the sidewalk. That's where I'm going to take a few people with me.
Do you remember Pee-wee's Big Adventure when they put him on the motorcycle? He's never been on one, and they're all waving, "Bye, people, bye." And he goes, "Room," and goes right into a billboard across the street.
Oh, Lordy. Anyway, I got stories up the yin-yang about that stuff. And speaking of macho things, Kristi Noem again today. Early this morning in Phoenix, Arizona, Kristi Noem herself in person showed up with 100 federal agents going after the bad guys who were crossing the border. They had 100 federal agents led by Kristi Noem herself rounding up 3 bad guys. So kind of maybe an over. It could have been 100 of them. Could have been a couple of 100 of them. You never know.
Never know.
But anyway, but I love to see this. But here's the thing. I can't find the story now. And the New York Post had a story a few minutes ago, and it said Kristi Noem, who, by the way, looks like a freaking Kardashian. I mean, she looks like, she's a pole dancer. I mean, she's just, she's all made up in the long curly hair and extensions. I mean, my God, come on, woman. Anyway, she's beautiful, but still, she looks like a Barbie doll, for crying out loud. And so, and it described Kristi. She got a machine gun in her hands, leading the way to the 3 guys. And the New York Post described her, Kristi Noem sporting a gold Rolex watch.
Latest on song from Yves Saint Laurent.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so that going for us. And Donald Trump sacked that girl admiral for being disrespectful. It's about time. This is what's going. This is the only way to get your military back. And I'm telling you, old farts like me don't have a say in anything anymore. But I feel when I heard the Pete found that story. When I heard that story, I said, "Oh, get that story." It just makes me feel good. It makes me feel once again that somebody really gives a crap, at least for a minute, about the freaking veterans. Anyway, it was 57 years ago, but still, it's still a thing, and I appreciate it. Just, I'm speaking for old farts here. Sorry. Now, let's see. Let's do a quick thing. I want to talk about the Wolves. Last night, now Holy Crap at Sports is coming up later. Were you now you called the outcome of the
I had that dream.
Yeah.
And my dream was Wisconsin would beat Florida in the championship. Well, Wisconsin didn't get there, but Florida did, and they won.
And they won. Now, I thought there was I remember, I watched the first part of the game. I was getting ready. I came home, whatever. I was watching the first part of the game, and I remember texting to Pete and Flounder. I said, "This is the worst basketball game, sloppiest game I've ever seen." I mean, nobody could score a point.
It's exciting, though.
Yeah, I mean, they were racing around like, they're all keyed up and everything, stuff like that. And so I stopped watching. I went to work and did stuff, but I saw this morning that there was a touching moment. I saw this and it must be a touching moment for you too, Pete, where the Florida star Walter Clayton Jr. had to go over, decided on his own to go over to console the superstar of Houston, Emmanuel Sharp, because they lost the game, and Emmanuel Sharp kind of screwed up at the end. He should have taken a shot instead of trying to do it, whatever.
He dropped the ball.
He screwed up, and when you drop the ball, you can't pick it up again and dribble, because it'd be double dribble, it'd be a turnover.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally,
he dropped the ball.
They were traveling. You must have been. Did you miss all the big white guys traveling for the whole first half?
I can't.
And they called it.
Honest. They did call one.
They called it.
Oh my God! Thank you.
No, they called like one guy 2 or 3 titimes.
But every one of them done. They change their pivot foot. They take 4 steps. They palm the ball. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, in 5th grade we wouldn't be able to get. Anyway, so the Florida guy goes over and consoles the guard. I thought that was so sweet of him that he consoled the guard.
What he went over. The guy's on his knees, and he's crying, and one of his teammates is patting him on the head, and Clayton walks over there, puts his arm around him, whispers something in his ear, and then he walks away. It wasn't exactly him lifting him up and hugging him.
It says showing in his hands over his face, the final buzzer, and the final teammates trying to console him, but whose decision? Yes, it was the putting his arms, the sweet, happy, wonderfulness.
Mr. Clayton, by the way, on his right arm has 3 crosses tattooed on his right arm. The 3 crosses. Yeah, for Easter coming up. Yeah. But afterwards, he's also went a little viral. They let the players, and I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend, but there's a little baby, so obviously he's got a kid with the woman, and they let them hold the trophy and take their family photos. Well, was it Wally Gator? Is that their mascot name down there? The guy dressed up in the Wally Gator thing? He comes up and he wants to stand next to him as part of the thing, and he barks at him. So Wally does this and puts his hands up and backs up a little bit. Well, the photographer comes up and says, "Okay, everybody together," and motions for Wally. Wally comes back and he barks at him again and doesn't want him in the photo. And it's like, what was that all about? You don't yell at your mascot. Your mascot's in your photo.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Was he booed?
No, he just didn't want the mascot in the photo with him.
I'll be damned. Well, that's kind of stupid.
Why would you hate your own mascot?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, they don't have any loyalty to their school anymore. They're mercenaries.
Yeah.
And that's why the reason a lot of people are saying that it's down. I don't know what the ratings were last night. You don't know any of the players.
Right. That's true. And by the way, I just saw a story about how Kirby Smart was talking about this. I'm sorry we're doing all the sports early, but I think it's pretty important. It's a newsy type story. Kirby Smart himself was saying he has to change his whole world now, especially as the winner of national championships. He said everything's different now because they're now coming to a system where the schools will just give out the money, and the average salary is $2.5 million a kid or something.
Yesterday they were in court all day.
Yeah,
all day with the NCAA and trying to basically the NCAA wants every school to have $20 million a year.
Yeah. And just don't give it out to $2.5 million a piece just for showing up.
But the problem is, you got to constrict the rosters. Elsewise, you got Bear Bryant with 200 guys on your Alabama. Did you remember the old Alabama team?
Seventh team's tackle.
There was no room on the sideline. I want to play for Bear Bryant.
Double numbers.
They'd have 200 guys on the sidelines.
I know.
They'd stockpile them. You can't let them do that again.
That freshman sensation flag, is it from Duke? The white guy, Cooper flag or Cooper? Yeah, he's now averaging $4.5 million.
Well, he's going to be pro next year, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but still, I mean, my good Lord. The whole thing is just, it's just amazing. Okay, Wolf time.
Sure.
We got to have these.
No, not Wolf time first. Something else first.
Well, first, a special treat. And it's long overdue. It's been a whole week, so we are going to enjoy the crap out of this.
2 weeks.
Oh, God, it's been 2 weeks. I keep forgetting. I forget everything if I didn't have it.
Well, then we might have to do it every hour.
Oh, no. 3:31. Yeah. Despite the vote, we're doing it anyway.
We're not that mad at him.
Extra 106.3 has the biggest lineup of conservative voices all week, and we're loaded with live and local programming every weekend. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Back Your Blue, Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and NASCAR on Sundays. See the full weekend lineup at extra1063.com and stream it free on the Extra app.
I was kind of joking around with Pete. I got sort of a new nutritional health thing going on here to see what's going on. It reminded me about how different things are for different people. And if you're looking for a health insurance plan that fits you or your family or maybe your business or your private, close to Medicare situation or COBRA plans and stuff, I don't know about that stuff, but I do know this. The big boys are back in town. The big boys include Trump Care. The health insurance doctor, Stephen's his name, but the health insurance doctor will get you what you're looking for. And again, he loves looking at tables and charts and contracts. And, it depends what you're looking for. What do you want? Are you concerned about long-term illness? Do you want things that might help you with eye glass stuff? Or, no worried about the annual deductible things, no IRS penalties and hard to get subsidies, stuff like that. I don't know about that stuff. Not forking over the $50 when you walk into the office, all that kind of stuff. And the health insurance doctor's been doing this for a long time, thousands and thousands of very happy, satisfied Atlanta area clients. I can promise you that, because insurance stuff is complicated, and he's got all the files to look at too and get you the plan you're looking for, and you don't have to pay him. No, you don't have to pay him. It's free to you. He'll put this all together for you. You get a free quote. Check him out. Stephen's his name, health insurance doctor. Here you go. 678-523-0759. Look him up, healthinsurancedoctor.net.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Exmark. Did you know now is the perfect time to set up your mowing game with your Exmark mower? Exmark's zero-turn mowers are durable, efficient, and reliable every time, helping you mow faster and better so you can spend less time working and more time enjoying your lawn. Don't just mow like a pro with Exmark cutting this season. Head over to Howard Brothers now. Their friendly folks are ready to serve and find the right Exmark mowers for all of your needs. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Exmark and Howard Brothers.
Are you tired of dealing with loud, ugly, drafty garage doors? Do you have certain rooms in the house that you can't keep cool in the summer or warm in the winter? Hi, I'm Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Now is a great time to upgrade with brand new, efficient, quiet, and beautiful garage doors. Your garage door is the biggest opening in your home, which is why it's such an important part of your home's curb appeal and energy efficiency. Give us a call today at 770-517-7078. Get started today by visiting us at allfourseasonsgarages.com.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus a disclosed fee. Guaranteed.
Get an Honest Car Buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Looking to attend multiple Braves games for the 2025 season? Save up to 10% with the Braves Flex Plan and pick the games that fit your schedule. The Flex Plan includes some great matchup options, including popular opponents like the Phillies, Dodgers, Yankees, and more. Plus, you have the option to pick your perfect view to enjoy your games from.
Goodbye. Struck him out with a slider. It is a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Chris Sale.
Visit Braves.com/Flex Plan to learn more and get your plan started. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves this country.
You've likely heard about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too, with their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally, developed by doctors. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call. 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start today. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Finally, a president that will fight for American values.
The American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
And finally, an Atlanta news station that covers it the right way. Extra 106.3 isn't about traffic and weather. We care about the stories that matter most to you, your family, and your community. Get traffic and weather on your phone and get Atlanta's only conservative conversation right here on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
People try to put us to death.
That's all the hood. That's really fine.
Just because we get around.
Generation, baby. Hope I die before I get old. You're going to hear that line again in a second, because on this day in 2012, organizers for the 2012 Olympics in London at the ceremony had asked the manager of The Who if legendary drummer Keith Moon would be able to perform at the forthcoming London Olympic Games in 2012. Who manager Bill Kirbishley said, I emailed back saying Keith now resides in Golders Green Crematorium, having lived up to The Who's anthemic line, I hope I die before I get old. If they have a round table, some glasses and candles, we might contact him, unquote. So there you go. Our birthday list includes Robin Wright. She of Jenny, the Forrest Gump. Jenny, 59 years old.
A
Robin
villain
Wright.
in that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
She was a bad person.
Well, she, especially laughing at him when he did. She, instead of her helping when he was obviously trying to.
As an adult, she was a bad person.
Yeah, absolutely true. Jenny and Forrest Gump, the Tramp is 59, Princess Buttercup and the Princess Bride, and Claire Underwood on House of Cards.
Well, I have not liked her in almost anything.
Yeah, I don't like her at all. See the feet on her? I don't know. And now...
Didn't notice.
Oh, did you send a message?
I did. It's something you might want to watch later. It's about it's a black man wondering why white people make their edibles so strong. he goes, what are you running from? All I wanted to do was go to Target.
Now I don't know where I am. I just bought a horse. Wait, what?
we can play that as a PSA at some point.
Oh, Lordy. This day in 1998, televangelist Jimmy Swaggart is officially defrocked by the Assemblies of God Church after refusing to accept their punishment for the unnamed sins he had admitted to. Swaggart was implicated in a sex scandal with a prostitute, retaliation for exposing fellow Assemblies of God preacher Marvin Gorman. Remember, Swaggart accused Gorman of having sexual affairs. Gorman was defrocked for the scandal, so he hired his son and son-in-law to stake out the motel in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. When Swaggart showed up with a hooker, they took photos, let the air out of his tires so he couldn't go anywhere, and then called Gorman. Swaggart says Gorman then offered to remain silent if he would publicly apologize and say he lied about Gorman's true affairs and help rebuild Gorman's ministry. Swaggart failed to do it. Gorman showed the photos to the church leaders, and that was the ball game. Goodbye, Jimmy Swaggart. Hell, I'm more of an ordained minister, and so are you, than he is.
Well, nowadays, yeah.
Now he's not around anymore. Anyway, golly, guys, I'm almost too excited to start here. Flounder, are we all on the same page, ready to go? Or got your fingers in there? Oh, very hard. And now, another exciting edition of Not the Kimmers, Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where we, by golly, just bathe in the glory of bringing the teeny ray of joy into your otherwise miserable lives. Today's episode, well, I can see your nuts. Yes, the scene. An ordinary doctor's office in ordinary town America. An ordinary man sits naked on a cold metal examination table. The ordinary doctor comes in the room and sits right down.
So tell me, what seems to be ailing you today?
The naked, cold man replies,
Doctor, my back hurts when I wake up in the morning.
Well, wake up in the afternoon then.
Excuse me?
That'll be $500, please.
And scene. Oh, what a turnaround. Oh, it's incredible. And I look at the YouTube crowd. They're jumping up and down. They have signs. Oh, God, they made signs.
Signs.
Holy smokes. It's a miracle. Pete David, after a 2-week delay, to knock it out of the freaking park, man, when the Braves are in town, holy crap. I just, on behalf of all of us, the Not the Kimmers, Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, once again, just for you, the little people.
Short and sweet.
It's well done.
Okay.
Yes.
Wolves.
Here we go. The story broke. We've seen, if you haven't seen the puppies, go look for the puppies.
Cute.
Oh, my good grief. Now, if anybody who watched Game of Thrones knows that part of the fun part of this here was when the dire wolves, D-I-R-E, when the dire wolf showed up, was a whole bunch of them or just the one?
All the kids got one.
There's one for each child. I'd forgotten that. And they would show up, and they always appeared to be like 10 feet tall.
Big.
Huge. And they were protective, and, the story. Well, the true story of the dire wolf was actually a species that disappeared 13,000 years ago, but had been around for a hell of a lot more than that. Game of Thrones, the HBO series, made the dire wolf kind of get a comeback. Well, there's a company called Colossal Biosciences, an engineering company in Texas, and they used DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull of a dire wolf and made healthy dire wolf puppies. They called it unveiling some magic. They used donor egg cells, transferred them into a surrogate dog mom, and apparently used dire wolf fossils and genes from their closest living relative, the gray wolf. So obviously, technically, it's not 100% nothing but dire wolf DNA, but the mixing of that allows it to grow as a dire wolf, theoretically.
Did these people not see Jurassic Park?
Yeah, now here's the other thing. They gave it to the doggy mom. She had the babies. The DNA from a fossil tooth in Ohio. And they, let's see, they have an ecological preserve to have these puppies be taken care of. Romulus, Remus, and the female is Khaleesi, which, of course, is the killer character Daenerys Targaryen's name, Emilia Clarke, a little blonde hottie. Anyway, the dire wolves were real world predators, lurked across all of North America with mastodons and saber-toothed tigers in the Ice Age. Dire wolves hunted horses, bison, and mammoths. Many of them became extinct because of human hunters, and so the dire wolf had nothing to eat. Dire wolves are much bigger than their gray wolf counterparts, although I've heard them described on the news this morning earlier as being like 140, 150 pounds, which is not as big as a mastiff or things like that. But still, that's a big animal. And again, we assume that's the actual size of them, 100,000 years ago. This is the same company, by the way, has a $10 billion company, and their goal is to bring back the woolly mammoth. They have brought back the woolly mouse. And do I understand that they actually have the DNA of a woolly mammoth and they put it into a mouse to see if it would grow? Yeah. And apparently it is or did a tremendous technological leap in genetic engineering. No kidding. But it also, this is what I think is an important key sentence that may be overlooked. This de-extinction and the end-to-end system for de-extinction heralds an entirely new era of human stewardship of life.
Good.
We will be controlling who's on the planet.
Good. Well, we're supposed to control the planet.
Okay.
It says in the Bible we are.
All right, now how about this? How would you like to have they keep doing this for the wolf thing. How would you like to have a dog that's like 18 feet high?
No, I can't do that.
I mean, my God. How about a T-Rex? And what happens if some mad scientist gets a hold of this and something bad happens in the lab and
they get out? We know what happens. There's 5 movies based on it. They put frog DNA with it. That's why they can reproduce.
Yeah. And by the way, they say these wolf pups. I mean, they're beautiful. You haven't seen her, but just Snow White, beautiful, beautiful wolf pups. And they are now on, let's see, they're on a... they're
going to bring the dodo back, which is good.
The dodo bird, the dire wolf went extinct. They're trying to bring the muscular... also, bringing back the woolly mammoth and the Tasmanian tiger, the dodo bird, and they did bring back the woolly mouse.
Well, what this is good for... is there's a bird in New Zealand. They've got 4 islands formed now. There's only like 200 of them left, and they're flightless birds, and they walk around. They're cute.
Dodos.
But because they're cats now and stuff, they kill them.
Yeah.
So they have to protect them. There's only 200 left, so at one point they're probably going to die out.
Yeah.
Well, now they don't have to die out. We don't have to add any other DNA in. We'll have their DNA, and we can bring them back if something happens.
Well,
that's a good thing.
Humans engineering using chemicals to make life, man, is unbelievable. I mean, we're here.
Meanwhile, we're killing babies in the womb.
Yeah. Well, again, if it's all just chemicals and you're making something and that's how you can get away with it, that's how people can accept it. It's just a chemical reaction, which is the the issue of human engineering of life itself.
But what are we going to bring back and what not?
Well, let's say we want to have.
I want a saber tooth.
How about we want to have a guy be real athletic? So we stick a little frog DNA in his legs or something. Just for a little speed there off the block. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I think we've already done that.
Yeah, Romanian gymnasts. Anyway, it's a 347. Give her feet and flounder. Shut up. Mercy.
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? Tug, Rhino, and Los have you covered with the biggest stories of the day and everything your coworkers will be talking about. It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Escape from the city into an outdoor sanctuary offering 36 holes of championship golf at Stone Mountain Golf Club. Located inside Georgia's most visited attraction, Stone Mountain Golf Club offers golfers of all skill levels 2 unforgettable golf courses. Stonemont, designed by Robert Trent Jones Sr., will test every club in your bag and offers an official U.S. Kids Golf Family Course. Lakemont features stunning vistas of Stone Mountain while winding around the lake, providing an unforgettable golf experience. With resort accommodations at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort, our stay and play package offers a perfect getaway for buddies groups, couples, and families. Our full-service restaurants offer delicious food and beverages and is open 7 days a week to serve you. Our PGA professional staff would be delighted to help plan your next company or charity tournament and provide an exceptional experience for your organization. Plan your escape to Stone Mountain Golf Club by visiting stonemountaingolfclub.com for more information.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
So, the doc says I have ED. ED. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just an abbreviation for conditions so many men have. If I was to be honest, I probably also have a little OCD. I know I have a great HMO. Heck, I even have 3 weeks of PTO. Look, don't let a few letters get you down. If you have ED, there's HELP. Go see Dr. Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He's an ED specialist that will turn your life around PDQ. ED happens to a lot of men as we age. And just FYI, Dr. Deal can give you back the confidence you need to perform on the JOB. So, ready to take the first step? Quit yelling WTF at your little BFF and visit tbtofga.com. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can fix your ED ASAP. And before you know it, you'll be screaming OMG.
I'm getting in the game. The world won't be the same. I'm good to go.
Call 404-777-1911 or visit tbtofga.com.
Through the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, your support makes lasting differences in real lives, like the lives of the Clark family. U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Jesse Clark's military service came to an end after a chemical exposure caused a large tumor to form in his brain. Well, as a result, he is paralyzed on the left side of his body, legally blind, prone to memory loss now, and in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. But friends like you help Tunnel to Towers build this hero a new smart home to help him live a more independent life. There are so many more families like the Clarks that need your help. Since Tunnel to Towers' founding after the horrific events of 9/11, we cannot forget. Not when they've sacrificed so much for us. America's heroes have given us so much, and together we can say thank you in a lasting and meaningful way. Please show your support now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes. After that transformation, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3:52. We're not messing around here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder stand by. Braves are in town. Phillies are in town. Break a knee. That's what I say. Break a knee. So the first 4 guys right at their freaking knees. Sorry. I was never happy. I'm kicking myself now. Every time I see a big leaguer and the guy gets a hit and he gets first base in there, having a happy talk with the first baseman and patting him on the back. How's it going? Just happy. It's good to be here playing baseball. And I always looked at him as a freaking enemy, man. If I had a chance, I'd spike him or throw it at their face or anything.
Did you see what happened in the Mariners-Astros game the other night? It was a grounder, and the Astros running down to first base, and the first baseman caught the ball, and the Astro reached around and hit him in the forearm. Could have broken his wrist.
Really?
To make him drop the ball.
Oh, that can't be good.
Nothing happened until he came back up to the plate.
I was going to say, and his lips, maybe?
And then he wore a 99-mile-per-hour fastball right between the numbers.
Oh, man.
And it was
that's got to hurt.
Yes, old school baseball.
Absolutely.
This happened a couple years ago, didn't it?
I just saw it. It happened a few years ago with A-Rod tried something like that.
It was the same team. It was Houston.
Well, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. But it's funny that both times it's been Houston.
Yeah.
You should see it. Well, he nailed it. It hurt.
Well, good. And I assume that the jump came out to do something or whatever.
I didn't see what happened.
As long as you get him in the back or something like that, I think it's fair game. You go up towards the head and stuff like that.
Yeah, just snap his spine.
Yeah. I was never like my father, a nice person. Anyway, I'm sorry, Flounder. Play music again a little bit, sir, so you know what we're talking about here if you want. Marilyn Manson on this day in 2002. Marilyn Manson denied claims and he was responsible for the death of a woman at a party at his house the year before in 2001. Jennifer Syme, a former girlfriend of actor Keanu Reeves, died when her Jeep Cherokee hit 3 parked cars. Her mother sued the singer, Marilyn Manson, for wrongful death, claiming Manson was negligent in instructing the woman to operate a motor vehicle when she was incapacitated. Well, it must have been a party. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Richard Hatch, 64 years old, the winner of Survivor, also a jailbird for not claiming the taxes for the money. He won millions.
When you say Richard Hatch, I think the guy replaced Michael Douglas on Streets of San Francisco, was in Battlestar Galactica back in the 70s. Richard Hatch.
Oh my
the actor.
gosh. I haven't thought of his face on that name since the Streets of San Francisco. Was that 79 or so?
70s, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Carl Malden.
By the way, he played a great role in The Thief in Hotel. He was the sneaky thief in the movie Hotel. Yeah. Anyway, so, all right, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 3:55. Holy cow. Flounder's, Flenny's coming over shortly. A couple of newsy things, and, God, was there something else I wanted to, I can't remember now. I'll find it. Let's see. Judge Bo's puke brain has now canceled the hearing he was going to have today to talk about the Trump deportations because now the Supreme Court has made 2 rulings which has halted all of the Superior Court decisions up till now. One, Boasberg has canceled the hearing over the jurisdiction over getting rid of the Venezuelan gangbangers because the U.S. Supreme Court... Is that me?
We're hearing something.
Oh, we're hearing something. That's all right. He's checking something out. And the Supreme Court said, no, you can't stop the president from doing that. However, the Supreme Court also last night ruled that with the Enemies Act, he has to give these people a chance to have a hearing. So for the time being, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of President Trump, but there's going to be more to come. The Supreme Court also has said, no, you can go ahead and fire those probationary workers. They blocked the judge's order for Trump to rehire them. So in other words, he doesn't have to bring them back. Whether he can now continue firing apparently is true, but then this is all on hold for a while until there's more hearings about it and whether they get another hearing on due process, stuff like that. So again, it's temporary, but 2 wins for Donald Trump. As we were talking about yesterday, when the Supreme Court gets involved, then the Supreme Court's basically put a hold on the stuff against Trump. Trump can continue doing what he's doing, but it's not over by a long shot. But still, I mean, this is a good sign.
And it barely got by because of guess who? Another liberal white woman who's masquerading as a conservative.
Yeah.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah, which is surprising.
How did she sneak past all the vetting process? Who thought she was a conservative?
Well, when you looked at her record, nothing stuck out at me that she's a wolf in sheep's clothing at all. But again, I don't know. How am I supposed to interpret court rulings from
All you can tell is that facial expression she had when Trump walked by. She's basing the law on her feelings, not the law or the Constitution. It's all about feelings with this woman.
Yeah. Well, it's right, chicks, man. And Supreme Court, Supreme Court Justice Bippity Boppity Boo doesn't know what a woman is. She got there as a DEI hire.
Yeah,
talking about disrespectful. I don't know what a woman is. I'm not a biologist. Oh, really? But you can be a Supreme Court justice and you don't know what a woman is, and you're afraid to say because you're a coward.
You're telling me she's the most intelligent black woman, the most qualified in America?
Black lawyer, black. Or you don't even have to be a lawyer to be on the Supreme Court. I don't think you can elect anybody. I can be Pope.
I know you could be Pope. The Pope actually said something right the other day. I forget what it was. It shocked me.
I'll be damned. Yeah. Hey, Flounder, we got a little Flounder's Funny in there. Please have a little something to laugh.
And that's great. Even men and women are divided on the topic. Like, men will just get drunk. Men will just get drunk. They're like, I don't know what happened. Men have no shame. I don't know what happened. I got drunk, drove naked through the Wendy's drive-thru. What? Again. Every dude has a story like that. It's super embarrassing. He has no shame at all. Women, not women. They're too proud. Women will never admit to being, I had 10 vodka cranberries, and then I don't remember anything that happened after that. I think I'm allergic to cranberries.
Allergic.
I don't think. I had 6 drinks, and then I don't remember everything. You passed out on the pontoon boat, okay? Unfortunately, we remember the whole thing.
That's for John Christ right there.
John Christ, as it should be. By the way, on this day in 1879, for the first time, milk was sold in glass bottles in America. Echo Dairy Farms in New York. Before that, the milkman would sell milk in bulk, and the customer had to show up with your own container. And in 1879, milk came in bottles. I used to deliver milk to summer camps.
Mathis Dairy used to bring the milk to our house over in Decatur.
I used to drive the big milk tanker truck, and I would deliver the 5-gallon drums of fresh milk to all the summer camps.
We had that metal box in our back on our deck that they could fit 2 of the glass
I have some
jars.
Mathis Dairy bottles.
Used to know the milk.
Southside Steve has some too. We both had some.
Used to know the milkman. Okay, we all knew
best chocolate milk ever, Mathis Dairy.
Coming up 4 o'clock, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? Braves in town. We got Holy Crap of Sports coming up. Pete's tweets, a game, and so much more. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hi,
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
becomes a sell-off on Wall Street. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Dow down 350 points at the bell, falling to 37,615 after a morning rally of more than 1,400 points. Heading south after White House confirmation that China missed a deadline to roll back retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Now, China will face even higher penalties as new tariffs begin tomorrow.
A 104% tariff rate will be added to Chinese goods into the U.S. as a trade war between Washington and Beijing escalates.
It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump believes Chinese leaders do want to make a deal with the U.S. to lower tariffs.
If China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
Wide-ranging tariffs are also being imposed on trading partners around the world. Leavitt says about 70 countries have so far signaled they want to start trade talks with the administration.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. President Trump says he had a great call with South Korea's acting president, who's sending a team of negotiators to the U.S. Canada's finance ministry says 25% counter tariffs on some U.S.-made vehicles will take effect as planned tomorrow and will remain until the U.S. eliminates tariffs on Canada's auto sector. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says rescue operations continue along flooded rivers.
The governor is still urging people not to drive through water.
You not only put your life in danger, you put the lives of everybody who's coming to rescue you in danger.
Along the bloated Kentucky River in Frankfort, parts of the Buffalo Trace distillery underwater, thousands now displaced statewide, even more without power, with continued cleanup and damage assessment underway.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. In multiple states, recent storms are blamed for more than 20 deaths. America is listening to Fox News.
U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active-duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Look out. How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 106.3. Beautiful day. Cool. Sunny. Braves in town against the Phillies. This ought to be, we may see a lot of, this could be a very exciting series. A 3-game stand, I guess, for the Phillies. This could be a very...
It's important.
We need to sweep them.
We're we're not going to sweep.
Well, but that's what we need to do.
Yeah. We're 6 games out.
I mean,
9 games in.
Yeah, and again, obviously, it's still April, but but still, this is.
Remember, the Mets last year got off to a horrific start and made the playoffs.
Yeah. Plus, didn't the Dodgers lose their first 2 games of the season or something? I mean,
no, they beat the Padres, I think, in the first 2 games, or somebody. They beat over in Tokyo.
Japan, the Cubs.
The Cubs. They beat the Cubs twice.
Anyway, we'll talk about Holy Crap of Sports coming a little later. This is 1998 music here for you with the Rolling Stones.
No.
But if you listen to what Kimmer's about to say in the name of the song,
that song would be
fire.
In 1998, Rolling Stones guitar player Ronnie Wood was rescued along with 11 other passengers in the nick of time when the boat he was on caught fire in the engine. The boat was exploring the islands near Angra dos Reis, south of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with the women and the girls, when one of the boat's engines caught fire. Passengers were rescued by nearby journalists right before the damn thing exploded. So there you are, Ronnie Wood. And we're playing the song because this song is The Exploding Boat with Ronnie on.
1981, Tattoo You album.
Yeah, there you are. Well, the tattoo and the boat thing, I guess, it makes it very clear.
Well, it's called Hang Fire, and he was in a boat, and he was rescued from a fire.
It didn't have to hang after all.
Hang Fire means you're basically just sitting around doing nothing, unemployed, basically.
That's what hang fire means?
Yeah, but you're wasting time.
I've never heard that phrase.
It's English. It means you're trying to hang fire. You're wasting your time.
Just might as well be cutting grass. Well, cool. Our birthday list includes John Schneider. He of the car movie thing.
Which one?
No,
what was it?
The car
General
series.
Lee.
General Lee and the General
Boss
Lee story.
Hog.
Oh God,
that bad show that they filmed in California and tried to pass off the Brown Hills.
Or something.
That it was Georgia.
Georgia, yeah. John Schneider from the
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard. He's 65. My God, man,
he was also Superman's dad in one of the Superman TV shows. Which one?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forget which one it was.
Supergirl, maybe? No, Superman?
Maybe one of those.
I don't know.
It wasn't Lois and Clark. It was one of the other ones.
Huh. Well, and I do have a little history note here. Speaking of TV stuff that you guys, I'll bet you guys watch this, and perhaps I'm wrong. Well, hold on. No, I got to find. Here we go. On this day, one of the strangest TV series ever hit the airwaves, debuting on ABC in 1990, Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Frost and David Lynch, predictions were the show wouldn't catch on. It didn't help that the first season was relegated to just a handful of shows. The story of Twin Peaks was around the murder investigation of a high school girl, Laura Palmer. The show was more about the people who lived in the fictional town in the state of Washington. A huge following after its hiatus after the first short season. Ratings were high when it returned for the second season, but after the killer was revealed halfway through the second season, audiences kind of turned away. Unique comedy of a mixture of comedy, drama, fantasy. The storylines got weirder. The show was canceled. The show had a cult following. Demand for more. Fire Walk with Me.
Bad movie.
Was a prequel to the remaining fans. Many years later, Showtime aired a revival of Twin Peaks in 2017, had original characters, albeit in a smaller role, and a few of the storylines from outside the Northwest. Anyway, Twin Peaks debuted in 1990. It's a weird story.
A couple years.
Yeah. And what was the other? Well, was that the one with? What was the other one with the guy and the girl detectives together? It was all weird and freaky. Was that Twin? What was the one? What the hell was her name?
It was what's his face from Dune. What was that guy's name? He was from Blue Velvet.
From Californication. Wasn't the same guy played Californication?
That jerk. He can't act, and he's just a jerk.
And the girl's sidekick.
Duchovny?
Yeah, David Duchovny.
No, that's the X-Files.
X-Files, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, another bad show.
You know, the older you get, the more this happens. Where I thought I had a show with a guy and a girl, and it was not the Laura Palmer at all.
Just remember, next time you're watching a David Duchovny show, this is a guy who hates Georgia. He's a New Yorker who hates Georgia and goes on national television and craps on Savannah. Of all places to crap on, Savannah.
Was that like St. Patty's Day or something? Or
no, he was on Letterman or one of those shows years ago, and I was watching him. And he's probably bragging about being from New York and how much he hated being in Savannah.
How can you crap on Savannah?
Because he's an a-hole from New York.
Yeah. I mean, what's Savannah ever done?
I've never watched anything he's done since.
I'll be damned. The Californication was good, but not because of him. He
can't act.
He's a glum glower.
It's the same thing in everything he does.
Yeah. And I didn't like that girl was in it.
I tell you what's funny,
like
for the first time ever, Seth Rogen is funny. It's on Apple TV. It's called the Studio, and he makes fun of the Hollywood studio.
Oh, really?
It is. Yeah, he's got the girl from SCTV. Catherine O'Hara's in it.
Oh, I like her. Oh, she's in all the good stuff.
The first show he makes Martin Scorsese cry.
Shots Creek.
It's funny. Yeah. It's not Shots. Is
it him doing interviews?
No. He's the head of a studio, and it's making fun of the movie business. And it's actually, for once, Seth Rogen is funny.
Oh, cool. So, wasn't he in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah, he was in that. He was okay in that. He was okay in that. But he killed the Green Hornet, which was one of my childhood things. No, and he screwed that up so badly, it took me a long time to forgive him for that.
I don't really remember.
It was such a bad movie, nobody saw it.
Yeah.
He's kind of on the left. He was really pro-vaccine and all that stuff. And Definitely.
Tell the story of the vaccine thing. Didn't you have
story of the vaccine thing?
Wasn't there was something about?
I probably have it right here.
In fact, we ought to probably do a tweets later. Next segment we'll do a tweets too. But I found something which I thought was interesting because we were talking about vaccines, and 2 kids died of measles now, and they're talking about that.
No,
stuff
I didn't.
too.
I had the furniture thing about the federal government. I didn't have a vaccine thing today.
I thought it was of all the people who were in charge of the vaccine program, all got the.
God! Someone the flu. They found out that most people, and this is at a prestigious medical organization, they found out that most of the people took the flu shots.
Yeah.
Got the flu, the people who didn't take the flu shots didn't get the flu.
Yeah. The last time I took the flu shot, I felt like I got the flu.
Yeah.
I felt...
Everybody says that.
Yeah, it's true.
I have never gotten one.
I've only gotten... I think I only remember getting one flu shot when it was bad. It was going around, everybody said, you got to do it. And I got it, and about a day, I felt like I had the freaking flu. And they're saying, well, no, it's just a side effect. Yeah, the side effects are worse than the freaking disease. It's God. Anyway.
But the doctor will say, but thankfully you didn't get the flu.
Yeah, luckily you weren't the flu. It was just a reaction to the shot. See, you didn't get the flu after all. What are you whining about?
That'll be $500, please.
And now an update on Austin Metcalf's killer. The Texas teenager charged with fatally stabbing the high school football star Austin Metcalf has now got, I guess, something over $200,000 raised for his legal defense in a matter of just hours. A Dallas suburb this happened. They were rival high schools, and the white football player was telling the black other guy who was an athlete on another team for something else to get out of the tent that his team was sharing because he wasn't supposed to be in that team's tent or whatever. It's some kind of meet. Mm-hmm. The black kid is Carmelo Anthony, not to be confused with the professional athlete.
Spelled with a K.
It's, different whole thing. Anyway, so we say Carmelo is the black athlete and Austin Metcalf is the white guy. Rival schools. The family's now got hotshot Dallas lawyers. Metcalf says, Carmelo's family and police say he killed in self-defense. He claims he did it in self-defense. And they've set up an official fund, and now he's raised over $200,000, apparently, including donors. Again, this is the black guy who apparently said when he was in the other team's tent, and the white guy said, "Hey, you're not supposed to be in our tent. Get out of our tent." And he says, "Oh yeah, touch me and see what happens to you." So the guy apparently tries to move him out of the tent. So the black guy pulls a knife and stabs him in the heart and kills him. By the way, the guy died in the arms of his twin brother. And I heard his father saying today that he had the chance to rub his hair on his face as he closed his eyes for the last time and took his last breath. I mean, oh my God. And the father said, well, it's a shame that, this kid had to do that and made a mistake. And that, we talked about that yesterday, was just, I can't believe the reaction to that. But still, so now the donations are pouring in. Donors are saying, hey, good job standing up for yourself, young man. Yeah, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, mister, because of somebody's tongue. Rise up and God shall condemn. And now they're trying to say that the white victim, dead guy, was some kind of white supremacist, or that he was a drug dealer, or it was a drug overdose that killed him. The trolls, or a new discord over racially charged business that he was. I mean, it's just disgusting, absolutely freaking disgusting. And for the fact that they're now saying it's like, well, it's our turn now, showing that we don't have to take the... I guess the lesson is hands off the black guys. If you touch a black guy, you're just asking for it, and you assume he has a knife or a gun.
We don't know. I'm not going to say anything until we get the whole damn story.
Maybe he was a bully. Maybe they had
no idea what's going on here.
But still, you don't say, touch me again and touch me and find out what happens, and then he stabs him in the heart. I mean, by the way, what's he doing with a knife at a track meet?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
well, let's put it this way. The black community talks about the community a lot. And let's just be truthful. There's no more effed up community in this country than the black community right now. Jason Whitlock has pointed this out. Yeah. This whole worship of violence and guns, and you got to have a gun, and the drugs and the gangs and all that stuff, and the gangster rap and the mistreatment of women in rap and all that stuff. It's a horrible community right now. Yeah. And it's not every black person.
No, in fact,
this urban thing, and Neil Borch's point, this urban thing that you got to be violent and drug and hate women and mistreat them. Where is this? Well, it's coming from no fathers in the homes. Yeah. The government took over in the 60s. Senator Moynihan warned us, and he was a liberal Democrat. If the government takes over the role of daddy, you're going to break up the nuclear family, and it'll destroy the nuclear black family.
The war on poverty put them in housing projects, which became the most dangerous places in America to live for single mothers mothers trying to raise kids with grandmothers, and fathers nowhere to be found.
When we first moved here in the late 60s, Sweet Auburn was still a place you could go down to.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but it quickly changed.
For the little farmer's market.
That used to be the place. There was black-owned businesses, black restaurants, black banks.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just went away almost overnight. The government just took over being daddy.
Yeah. Well, we're in it. 4:15 already. Holy cow. We'll do tweets coming up. We got all kinds of good stuff here with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's your Tuesday? Praising time.
Pretty good.
It's going to be great.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Let's talk about Joel Rifkin, serial killer, now serving 203 years in prison in New York for murdering 9 women. They suspect he may have murdered as many as 17. How did they catch him? They stopped him because his car didn't have a license plate attached and there was a body in the car. Enough about Joel Rifkin. Let's talk about license plates. The state legislature in Albany, that's the capital of New York, want to make it illegal for police officers to stop somebody on the highway for what they call a low-level violation, like failure to have a license plate attached. Included busted headlights or taillights, dark tint on the windows, expired registrations. Nope, can't stop them anymore if this bill passes. The supporters of this asinine legislation want to pass it because they think it's necessary to promote racial equity. The police stopped just too many black people for these so-called low-level violations. Once again, lawmakers trying to make it more difficult for law enforcement to find and apprehend violent criminals. It matters not that half of the murders in this country are committed by black people. Don't stop them for minor traffic violations. Not if you're stopping more of them than you are white people who are statistically less violent. If this law had been in place years ago, how many more women could Joel Rifkin have killed? Doesn't matter. We need equity. Do you know it's even been proposed to make it a crime to call 911 on a black person? How many 911 operators would lose their jobs? Just wow. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Tax refund season is here, so now's the time to invest in your home. For over 25 years, homeowners have trusted Southern Exteriors for expert craftsmanship and lasting value. James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding delivers unmatched durability, stunning design options, and superior protection for your home. Right now, take advantage of 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any project. Don't wait. Upgrade your home with the #1 name in siding. Schedule your free estimate today at southernexteriors.co.
Well, you know, when my daughter Jennifer was visiting, I feel better now, and she does too, I think, about knowing where to find my stuff. Thanks to Atlanta Safe House, you can keep your stuff where it should be kept, and that's safe and sound because of your new Atlanta Safe House safe. You know, by the way, I love these guys, Jeff and Mark, and the whole family business, taking care and doing things for decades in this town. They have a showroom in Acworth. We did our show there a little while ago, and they have almost 200 safes right there ready to go. And they can, put stuff on the inside, shelving units and things like that, any way you want them. Don't forget, this is really important, a couple things. Gun safes, you do not pay any sales tax, period. And there's always kind of specials and deals and rebates. Holy smokes, rebates. Pistol safes, jewelry safes, they can build you a safe into your wall if you want it. And by the way, the crews are the best delivery people, period. Only off-duty police, firefighters, military, stuff like that, because you can trust them in your home or your office. Don't forget also, they can rent you a safe. If you're doing something for the summer, or you got a convention or a sales meeting or an event or something coming up, they can rent you a safe for whatever. I'm telling you, this is a great company, and they're never giving out your master reset code either. These are true American patriots, a whole family of them, that's for sure. Showroom in Acworth, tell them the Kimmer sent you on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department,
and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
This was the day they found Kurt Cobain. 1994, an electrician named Gary Smith was working at Kurt Cobain's house in Seattle. Found his body on the floor in the greenhouse. The local radio station in 1994, KXRX, broke the news at 9:40 a.m. that a Nirvana singer and guitarist was dead. A shotgun next to the body, a suicide note that read, quote, "I haven't felt the excitement of listening to, as well as creating music, along with really writing for too many years now," unquote. A lot of heroin and Valium found in Kurt Cobain's body this day, 1994 in Seattle. Our birthday list includes Seymour Hersh, won the Pulitzer Prize, 88 years old. Yeah, was that the Pentagon Papers?
Maybe, yeah. It may
he did it was a Washington Post or the New York Times. New York Times. I think he was. I can't. I'm kicking myself because I was going to look all this stuff up and then I got distracted and I forgot. Seymour Hersh, 88, won the Pulitzer Prize, and by the way, it's Pulitzer because
it's not.
I believe the name of the hot babe, the trumpet girl from Palm Beach, where the Kimmer was, that little thing there with the Pulitzer.
Joseph Pulitzer.
No, the girl. You idiot! You haven't heard. You don't.
No one's ever heard it called Pulitzer. Ever.
Oh, my God. The name of the family is Pulitzer.
We've all said Pulitzer our entire lives.
I didn't say you haven't said it. I've just said you've been saying it incorrectly.
Well, not all of us follow the South Beach diet and fads.
Oh, my God. You've never heard the story of the famous Pulitzer girl with a trumpet and everything? What do you mean nobody cares? It was a best-selling book. Oh, my God. It was a story of the world. The whole world cared about the Pulitzer things. Dear Lord. Oh, God, I hate when you do this. 1989. Nobody cares about what you're saying. Oh, it was a world thing, my God.
It's not like it won a Pulitzer.
It's Pulitzer. How about a happy note in sports? Tatis, holy crap of sports coming up, and a lot of sports up here today. Okay, on this day in 1989, California Angels rookie pitcher Jim Abbott makes his major league debut in a 7-0 loss to the Seattle Mariners.
Hey, Abbott.
But the buzz generated throughout the sports world, he said, maybe I was unnerved by all the attention, unquote, and the reason is that Jim Abbott was only born with one hand. The excitement was absolutely incredible. He pitched 4 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 3 runs. He played high school baseball in Flint, Michigan, selected by Toronto in 1985 in the draft. He went to college instead, University of Michigan. He led the Wolverines to 2 Big Ten championships. And then in 1988, the Angels picked Jim Abbott with the 8th overall pick. The man has one arm. One of the rare players to make it to the major leagues without ever playing in the minors.
He had one hand.
One hand, right. I'm sorry. Okay,
and he would cup the glove underneath.
Yeah, when he
threw the pitch, he was a lefty, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
As soon as he threw it, he'd grab the glove and put it on, but now that's not quick enough nowadays.
Yeah, he had no right hand. And he could never do that today.
Well, you can do it, but you'd be hurting.
Yeah, you'd get.
He threw a no-hitter.
Yeah. One of the rare players to make it to the majors with never playing in the minors. Had a good season, 12-12. One lost, 3.9 ERA. Let's see. Abbott, one of the major league's better starting pitchers by 91. In September 1993, pitched a no-hitter for the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Indians at Yankee Stadium. He pitched for 4 teams over 10 years and retired after 1999. Jim Abbott, with no right hand. What a story. I remember seeing it, and I thought, holy cow. And again, the fact that they even did it as a kid. I mean, yeah, but you have to do this and this, and he did it, and
was good at it.
Achieved it and did it well.
And then there's Pete Gray, played for the St. Louis Browns during World War II, had one arm, and swung. It was a decent hitter, and played the outfield. Did the same thing. He'd pick up the glove.
Yeah. They've kind of made fun of him in the Woody Allen movie.
No.
When now the picture he's lost both legs. The man has no legs or arms. Don't you remember that movie?
No,
oh my God!
I mean Monty Python
the sportscaster.
It's just but a scratch.
No, it wasn't Annie Hall. It wasn't played
Bananas.
Against him. It was one where he grows up in the New York ghetto with his. I guess it was Annie Hall. And they talked about the famous sportscaster. Yes, a man born with one arm. And then they said, and he lost his arm in the elevator on the way to the stadium. Now he has no arms, throwing with his feet, ladies and gentlemen. And they show the way with. It was just the whole. Oh my God, it was hysterical. Anyway, 426. Right? Oh, should we?
But that's one of the lines in the studio. They're making fun. They're talking about what great movies that both Woody Allen and Roman Polanski made.
Yeah.
It's a shame all the great movies made by perverts. And he called them perverts in the show.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Cool. Well, there you are. I mean, Roman Polanski should have been shot.
Should be in prison.
Yeah. And didn't he come back home now? Didn't he get away with it?
He finally did.
I think he came back
in or something.
I think he came back and got because the statue has gone or something.
The Oscars and Meryl Streep stood up and gave him a standing ovation. He raped a child.
Quentin Tarantino defended him on what's his name?
Bill Maher or something?
Howard Stern.
Whatever happened to Howard Stern? Screw him anyway. I had a great movie. That was a great movie.
Both were great directors. That doesn't mean you can go around raping children.
Yeah, no, it's very bad. By the way, what a bizarre story of the New Jersey mayor named Gina LaPlaca in a little town in New Jersey, and she got caught the other day. You probably have seen the video. She got caught driving drunk. And there was a video of a woman following her and taking the videos of her, and she captured them videos swerving all over the place, nearly crashing into a pole after she had picked up her 2-year-old son from daycare on St. Paddy's Day. So the police arrived at her house, found her toddler still strapped in the car in the rear seat. They made her perform field sobriety tests, and she stumbled all over the place, couldn't stand on one leg. They found a water bottle filled with alcohol and another small liquor bottle. She was charged with all kinds of things, released to appear in court later this month. Now, she's the mayor of a small town in New Jersey. So her husband now has said, quote, "It's not like she's the mayor of some big city. Lumberton has only 13,000 people. All I want is for my wife to get better and for everybody to leave her alone."
Yeah.
She's 40.
Resign.
She's 45. She's 45, and then she got caught with this video. And here's what she released as information in an email. Quote, "I will not be resigning my position. Our community," and here's how she said, "Our community needs to be more kind and understanding about people trying to better themselves. As we all know, there is a huge black eye and a black cloud over our town right now," unquote. Well, what do you mean trying to better yourself by getting drunk with your toddler in the car and now so we have a black eye, but you're not taking responsibility for it? Well, they're going nuts.
They need to kick her out.
Well, they're saying you got to quit. You can't do this to yourself. I think the governor's even telling her.
You can't go to rehab and be mayor at the same time.
No. Even her outraged former committee members.
You never know. They might be able to multitask.
Now, here's one more thing, too, by the way. This makes it even worse. Her resignation comes after there was a call for resignation, comes after... I'm sorry. she did resign as business administrator in Neptune Township. So she was doing that job too. And that resignation came after another video posted online show her being thrown out of the Mount Holly Fire Commissioners meeting by the cops. I'm not making this up. She was heard calling another woman a skank bitch while police kicked her out of the room.
Good.
She says, "You have no idea what I've been through, you blanking skank blank." She's heard yelling. It was because the public criticized her husband's appointment as captain of the township fire department. And so she was, oh my God, this is unbelievable.
In her
What a
defense,
couple.
I've done some of my best work drunk, so...
Well, not only that, she's kind of turning me on. I got a little tingle, but I have to say to you, but I said, well, she did that too, sticking up for called this woman a skank. I said, well, you know what, in a way, that's kind of, it's kind of exciting. Sorry. Kimmer Bean Flounder, 4:30 or something.
Yeah, let's go to break, please.
Yeah, here we go, something. I called her a what?
Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey, by the way, it is true that I'm smiling every time I think about going to the dentist. It's silly. Dr. Dina Giesler. I mean, I've known this terrific dentist woman friend for decades, whole family type thing. It's the dentist to the stars, but AtlantaSmiles.com, Atlanta Smiles, the name of her practice, of course, is different because it's almost like if there's such a thing as a dental spa, this is it. The whole staff, and I joke with them because I call them Kimmer babes, because, I mean, they look like models. They're just the sweetest, happiest women you've ever seen. There's a guy there, too. But again, I mean, there's the whole staff. They're just the happiest people. They love what they do. They love their patients. They love their country. I mean, they're always just, they're just nice to be around and really take care of you. And don't forget the little doggy, too, little Jaja, the little teeny dog. Take a nap in your lap while you're getting your work done. And whether it's, cleaning stuff or cosmetic things or bridges and crowns, whole deal. AI, she used the last time to do a thing. I got a thing done with a thing there. And as a former Navy officer dentist, Dr. Dina offers 10% discount to veterans right off the top if you just tell them when you call. Here's the number, 404-262-7733. Your new smile's waiting for you. AtlantaSmiles.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Exmark. Did you know now is the perfect time to set up your mowing game with your Exmark mower? Exmark's zero-turn mowers are durable, efficient, and reliable every time, helping you mow faster and better so you can spend less time working and more time enjoying your lawn. Don't just mow like a pro with Exmark cutting this season. Head over to Howard Brothers now. Their friendly folks are ready to serve and find the right Exmark mowers for all of your needs. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Exmark and Howard Brothers.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
Springtime is here. Looking for a fun weekend with family, friends, and the kids? The Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Venture, Georgia's only PGA Tour Champions event, returns to Metro Atlanta April 25th through the 27th. Pick your favorite hole to watch along the ropes or find public seating throughout the course. Enjoy scenic views, specialty cocktails, and fun for the whole family. Children 15 and under receive complimentary tickets with purchase by an adult. Join the excitement at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, Georgia from April 25th through the 27th. Tickets are available at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com/tickets.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
The Morning Extra, every weekday on your drive to work on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
I can care about people and their lived experience and not want cross-dressers or drag queens in an elementary school. Those two don't even equate.
I can care for my neighbors. I can care for my community. These do not equate to woke ideology.
You don't have to agree with somebody to care for them. And they're saying if you disagree with drag queens in elementary school, then you don't care. And that's nonsense.
Well, if you don't acknowledge my ideology and adhere to it, somehow you're unchristian. If you look at it as, I want to ship out all the illegal aliens that are committing crimes in this country, well, Jesus wouldn't have done that with the borders. This is their mentality. This is how they play things. My very simple point is, I can respect you, I can love you, I can care for you, and not give a crap about your ideology because I'm not adhering to it.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3.
All right, I got it now. Here we go. Timber, Pete, and Flounder and the Clash from 1977. 1977, CBS released the self-titled first album by The Clash in Britain. In 77, the album widely celebrated as one of the greatest punk albums of all time. Boys, is that true? Would you say that?
Yeah.
Flounder, would you agree? Oh, Flounder's not in the race. He's in the back.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. Would you say that that's true? Okay.
Yes.
And now this was in Britain. They released it. CBS in America said, no, we're not going to release it. And it was 2 years later. So Americans had bought 100,000 imported copies, making it one of the biggest selling import records of all time.
It's also one of the most overrated albums of all time, but still.
Well, there you are, as it probably should be. Let's see. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. So much more coming up. Quick birthday check. Darlene Gillespie. Darlene Gillespie was a Mouseketeer. Darlene, she is 84 years old. She was a Canadian actress as a little girl. Darlene Gillespie, the Mouseketeer, 84, became a nurse after she got out of the in the 1950s from the Mickey Mouse Club. Never missed that. We would sit down. It was like the biggest cliche of Norman Rockwell of all time. The parents would come in and sit on the couch, and the kids would kneel down in front of them on the floor, knee with your elbows on your head on your elbows, watching a black and white TV, and someone would have to get up occasionally to make sure the antenna wasn't all going screwy. I'm telling you, it was just a whole different life.
The vertical hold.
Oh, yeah, right. UHF, what the hell?
Come in, Tokyo Rose.
I mean, aluminum foil on the antenna. I mean, that's unbelievable.
I to this day say they invented the toy, the Etch-a-Sketch, so we could learn to adjust a dial to fix the vertical hold. Do you know what that is, Flounder? What the vertical hold is?
No.
I guarantee he's never heard of that.
Sometimes their line would come, and this whole screen would just move up and down, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. And you twist this little knob called the vertical hold.
Vertical hold knob.
Was that the one on the top or the bottom?
I think
because usually you had two knobs. One that was the channel changer.
I don't. It could have been. I think either one.
And you had to.
There were 10 different TVs.
Fine tune it to keep it from jumping around.
Yeah.
It's like when you were watching Spice and you were trying to get through that bar.
Well, now see, that wasn't available when I was a little boy.
It was contrast. That was contrast, and it was an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, mercy.
I saw one.
I saw a booby.
4:30. 4 o'clock hour, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Safe House. It is safe, silly. Learn from the Kimmer. AtlantaSafeHouse.com. They have a showroom up in Acworth too, which is really great. We'd love to go on up there. By the way, on this day in history. In 1986, Clint Eastwood was elected mayor of Carmel, California by a landslide, 72% of the vote. On this day in 86, he was sworn in a week later and served for 2 years. Clint Eastwood ran for mayor so that he could add a few stories to the Hog's Breath Inn. That was a bar he owned, and they gave him a bunch of crap about it with the community. And, of course, Carmel by the Sea is one of the most delightful vacation spots with sea lions and golf course special thing. I mean, Carmel, California. And he wanted to improve and expand Hog Breath Inn. And after he became mayor, son of a gun, the board said, okay, you can go ahead and improve it. In fact, I've been there. I have a T-shirt, and on the menu is the Dirty Harry Burger, which in fact is the Dirty Harry Burger.
They have those. I'm not going to say a word.
No, you can't say everything they have available there. Anyway, Carmel by the Sea. Okay, well, what were you going to do?
Well, you could go see what Mr. Trump's saying.
Oh, is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that. And now he's with miners. Coal miners.
Oh, heck with it, because it's
we got Rick the Painter on the horn.
All right, let's go to Rick the Painter, and then if Donald Trump comes back, because he's with a bunch of miners talking about coal and stuff. Rick the Painter, you're on the radio, man. What's going on? Welcome aboard, sir.
Hey, Kimmer. Hey, brother. Hey, in the tribute to your birthday notes,
yeah.
Neil Bortz had his 80th birthday just recently, and I'd like to say happy belated 80th birthday. Yeah. But what does a pirate say on his 80th birthday?
A pilot says on his 80th birthday.
No.
A pirate. A pirate. Oh, he said maybe something like, I'm 80. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Hey, can I ask one more Kimmer? Can I
please.
Say one more belated birthday? May I, with your permission, your granddaughter, Molly had 11th birthday. May I give her a shout out?
Please do. Absolutely. She'd love that. She's a sweet girl.
Hey, Molly, if you're listening, happy 11th birthday. Your Pop Talk Kimmer is so nice. He said he was going to get you a new pony. So
I'm already getting. Nice try.
Y'all take care. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rick. It's always a pleasure, Rick the Painter. Because I always tell when kids call in and say your daddy's going to get you a pony for your birthday, and believe me, she has a pony. We lease one every, they lease one every 6 months. A new one.
Not only did I get a spider bite over the weekend, but I hurt myself measuring radio frequencies.
Measuring radio frequencies? I didn't. What do you mean?
Well, it still hurts.
It still hurts. Hertz megahertz and hertz regular hertz.
HERTZ.
Thank you. 441. We were going to do something. I don't know. Are we going to do some tweets? Donald Trump.
No, he's not talking more. They're just applauding.
Let's see some tweets.
Oh, wait a minute now. He may be.
He's talking about coal miners. He's still
talking. Let's go back real quick. Donald Trump live with coal miners. Just for a minute.
Because he worked hard. Look at it, and look how good his eyes must be to read that.
I lost it once.
I guess he's giving somebody an award or something.
Autograph.
And hopefully you can sell it tonight for a lot of money.
He is so good with working the crowds, I mean, nobody knew that about him. He does have a great sense of humor. He has good timing. They were talking about that earlier today.
That's great.
Too.
Thank you very much.
But he was with the Dodgers, making jokes.
Talking to coal miners.
An energy event, they're calling it.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And also with us is Tony Campbell of the East Kentucky Power Cooperative, and Tony's quite a gentleman and very respected in the industry. Come on up, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll come back later. He's been talking about coal a lot here. Again, this is remarkable. Donald Trump is also his spokesman today. Caroline also said Donald Trump is talking about way more than dealing with just tariffs. When all these countries call, something like 60 countries are now called trying to make deals. And Donald Trump is not just making deals now about tariffs. He's also saying, you know what? We also want to make sure that you stop making it difficult with these ridiculous restrictions on how safe our cars are or whether they can withstand a dent at 50 miles an hour and stuff like that. You do it deliberately to stop our cars, but everybody else's can go into your country. So you got to stop doing that too. You got to stop fooling around with your money. We're not going to take you making your money so that ours has become less valuable and stuff like that. He is doing he's changing the world. He's going all in. Think about it. He's changing the politics of the world, going after Greenland. The economy of the world. Everybody's saying, well, and by the way, they're all coming aboard. They're all saying, yeah, we want to have our meeting with you. We don't want to be left out. He's pulling it off.
Should have been doing this 50 years ago.
Absolutely. After World War II, this should have been America. This should have been the way we ran things in America. Yeah. This is the deal, and here's what we're doing, and let's all make a deal, but this is what it is.
You're not going to screw us.
Yeah.
We'll protect you.
Yeah. We'll help you and rebuild you, but and then...
You're not going to screw us.
Oh, man, this is unbelievable. 443. And Donald Trump again today, in case you just joined us, he sacked a girl admiral, a Navy Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield, the only woman on the NATO military committee. He kicked her out because a bunch of things. For one thing, she's caught many times saying that we need to invest in gender equity and women's empowerment for human potential, transformational scales and things like that. She also refused to put up the picture of Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump in the NATO office. And she also is very famous for saying, well, I'm not going to put up those pictures because we'll just wait them out 4 years. And Donald Trump heard about that. Pete Hegseth got a list of people saying that's this kind of thing they're doing, a list of 20 general officers and admirals who are focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and now they're gone. She got fired. I don't know whether she's allowed to retire. I assume so. She was dismissed from the alliance. Maybe she's even keeping her admiral bars. I don't know. But either way, if I were doing it, she'd be busted down to private and let that soak in. For all those big shots who think they're so tough and all of a sudden they're turning against America. How can you turn against your commander-in-chief? You're a freaking admiral. You're the head of the Naval Service. The Marine Corps is a department of the Navy. The men's department, true. But still, I mean, you're in charge of all that stuff. Unbelievable. It's 4:45 already. No. Micro-cheating. Oh, boy. And killed by a lightning strike. And there are some similarities that keep coming back. And this guy's got a very powerful message. Coming up, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, Holy Crap at Sports, Braves in town. And here we go, 4:45. Here we go. Stand by.
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream Extra 106.3 in crystal clear digital with the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
Escape from the city into an outdoor sanctuary offering 36 holes of championship golf at Stone Mountain Golf Club. Located inside Georgia's most visited attraction, Stone Mountain Golf Club offers golfers of all skill levels 2 unforgettable golf courses. Stonemont, designed by Robert Trent Jones Sr., will test every club in your bag and offers an official U.S. Kids Golf Family Course. Lakemont features stunning vistas of Stone Mountain while winding around the lake, providing an unforgettable golf experience. With resort accommodations at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort, our stay and play package offers a perfect getaway for buddies groups, couples, and families. Our full-service restaurants offer delicious food and beverages and is open 7 days a week to serve you. Our PGA professional staff would be delighted to help plan your next company or charity tournament and provide an exceptional experience for your organization. Plan your escape to Stone Mountain Golf Club by visiting stonemountaingolfclub.com for more information.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Yeah, we know life is unpredictable, but protecting your family's future doesn't have to be. How about the health insurance doctor's named Stephen? He can make life insurance simple and affordable plans designed to fit your budget and your needs. Term life, whole life, universal life, final expense coverage. The health insurance doctor customizing the perfect plan for you and your loved ones for the unexpected. Don't wait for it. Stephen, the health insurance doctor. Here's the number, 678-523-0759. Or visit him on the web, protecting what matters most, healthinsurancedoctor.net.
On January 20th, 2025, the White House declared a national emergency. It really wouldn't be a surprise if we started experiencing more frequent power outages as well as electromagnetic pulse or EMP attacks that could fry all electronics in the country and shut down the grid for months or even years. Most people will not survive without electricity. This is why My Patriot Supply just released the new Grid Doctor 3300, the first solar generator with a revolutionary EMP intercept technology. It's a groundbreaking system that protects your backup power from devastating EMP attacks, ensuring your family stays safe and comfortable when everybody else is left in the dark. With an industry-leading 3,300 watts of power, it runs everything from refrigerators to freezers to medical devices and power tools. Plus, it includes a free 200-watt waterproof solar panel for unlimited renewable energy. So don't wait until it's too late. Get your Grid Doctor 3300 with EMP intercept technology now at MyPatriotSupply.com. Secure your family's future at MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
There we go. But you know his little Aerosmith. Even I could recognize the beginning of this one there. 1975. Their third album, Toys in the Attic. Yeah. Dun-dun. Toys in the Attic, their most commercially successful American album. 8 million copies sold with Walk This Way, peaked at number 10. That's all on the Billboard chart. I'm kind of surprised at that. Re-released, it was one of the songs that helped break Aerosmith to the mainstream in the 70s when they brought it back. Okay, I thought it'd be higher than number 10. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? Our birthday list includes Patricia Arquette. She was Avery Ryan on CSI Cyber, Alison Dubois on Medium, the Oscar-winning star of Boyhood. Patricia Arquette is 57, and on this day in 1995, Nicolas Cage married her on her birthday. Patricia turned 27, got married to Nicolas Cage. They lasted 6 years. I guess she found somebody better. I'm not sure. Anyway, so Patricia's 57 today. So they
got some sad breaking news here.
What? No, what?
Former Braves pitcher Octavio Dotel, who was in that nightclub down in
I heard about
collapsed.
that. Yeah, killed the.
I forget where it was. He died on the way to the hospital. He's 51 years old. He pitched for the Braves back in 07. I just looked. He pitched for a lot of teams, but he was with the Braves in 07 at least. Seeing if he came back at some point.
Trying to find the update on that story. One of the players of the band, the sax player or something, he was also killed.
Let's see. I tell you, Dominican Republic, the roof collapsed, and he died on the way to the hospital.
Wow.
51.
Wow, I'll be darned. 452, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder here. 404-741-1230 if you'd like to join us. Braves are in town. Holy Crap at Sports is coming up. And 453, let's do it. We got...
This is how stupid I am.
What?
This is how stupid I am.
Yeah.
Okay. I go away for a vacation for a week.
Yeah.
I'm walking back there, and Chris Domino of 6A The Fan sitting back there working away.
Chris.
And I stupidly look at him at 4:50 in the afternoon and go, what are you doing here so late?
Oh, God.
And he just looks at me like... The Braves. I was like,
I remember now.
What a moron.
Here we go. No, it's all good.
I go away for 1 week and I forget everything.
It's probably my fault. A great experience at the tag office. But first, a little Pete's tweets.
Amish Astronaut tweets, welcome back, Kimmer Show. I thought you got fired as usual. After watching the Chicken Littles and the media scream the sky is falling in the stock market, I thought it'd be nice to take a look at the not-so-distant past.
Yes.
Here's a headline from the Atlantic Magazine. You know the Atlantic Magazine, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the left-wing rag whose owner is best friends with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes.
Epstein's squeeze. Yeah. Remember during the China virus panic when Governor Brian Kemp reopened the state of Georgia?
Yeah,
Yeah. Here's the April 29th, 2020 headline in The Atlantic. Georgia's experiment in human sacrifice.
Oh, my God.
The state is about to find out how many people need to lose their lives to shore up the economy.
You know, that is so deliberate. Deliberately trying to destroy faith in your country, basically, and your leadership and everything. Going out of their way.
Just another example of corrupt and stupid mass media scaring you with bogus stats and liberal bias to attack conservatives. That's what they're doing. They're attacking Kemp.
On purpose.
Have you seen any articles in the Atlantic since then saying, well, what did we blow that one?
Yeah.
It was the same as Joseph Biden said. It's our winter of death where people are going to die all winter.
Yeah.
It was lie. All of it were lies and propaganda.
Right. That's right.
To sell big pharma's products.
That's right. 6 feet circles, baby. Go to pharmacy.
Okay, John Rich. You know who John Rich is?
Yeah.
Okay, country singer, become very politically active.
Yep.
Okay, he's written something here that just struck home because I felt this way at times myself. The most terrifying force of death comes from the hands of men who wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business and provide for themselves and those they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the forced and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment the men who want to be left alone are forced to fight back, it is a form of suicide. They are literally killing off who they used to be, which is why, when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight with unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are merely play acting at politics and terror. True justice will arrive at these people's door, and they will cry, scream, and beg for mercy, but it will fall upon the deaf ears of the men who just wanted to be left alone.
Holy cow. There's about 4 things in there that piqued my...
You think about doing something, you go, well, that'll be the end of I'll be in prison. This will happen.
Yeah. And you just really wanted to be left
If I go down to that pro-Palestinian rally and start just beating the crap out of them, I'm the one that's going to go to jail.
Right.
And they'll be poor victims when they're calling for the genocide of people. And we said never again.
Well, it wasn't that long ago where the subway Marine Corps hero who stopped the people, all of a sudden he's now want to be tried for murder. He was just trying to do the right thing and then and by the way, he's disappeared. He's not.
He actually was somewhere. I don't know if it was Scotland. He was on a fashion show where he was showing. He had his kilt on.
Well, he is. Yeah, but again, he's. That's another example of all this kind of stuff. And here they go with these freaking.
But that's true. If you do stand up, you got to realize your life's over.
Yeah. What was it? Was this part of a thesis or a book?
It's anonymous. Whoever wrote it does not want their name attached to it. But John Rich posted this. On Twitter, and he's right.
I'm trying to think of
at some point when the state cannot protect you, you have to you got to be a vigilante.
Yeah. Wow. 457. Before we have a Flounder's Funny coming up here, tell the little people what Flounder made an announcement today. Came in the booth and made an announcement.
Flounder came in and took out some peepers and said, it's come to this.
Got some readers.
All of a sudden, he's in his 40s and he's married and he's wearing glasses to see the fine print.
And what did you say to him?
I said, well, you ought to get that they ought to get the eye surgery, the LASIK.
The LASIK surgery.
I had that,
and you said...
I got it.
And got it. And the Kimmer's been trying to get me to stick lasers in my eyes for 30 years now.
But I had the old-fashioned one, too, where they actually used a needle.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is your eyes are a muscle.
Yeah. Well,
so it's always going to, over time,
but you still stuck lasers in your eyes, and he stuck a knife, a scalpel in his eye.
In my eye.
And had to sit there, and they had to hold his eye open.
That's right.
Meanwhile, I just put contacts in. Yeah. No lasers, no scalpel comes anywhere near my eye.
You know, you can actually train your eye for better vision.
You become clear too while you did it? Dianetics. That's the first thing they do in the Dianetics book is talk about how you can change your eyesight by your mind.
No, not your mind. What you do is you put a pair of glasses and you take the lens out and you put a piece of paper and you cut a hole in it. So that way you have to focus on whatever you're looking at. And it kind of it makes sure it trains the muscle. Hell no.
All right.
That's why I have peepers.
There you go. Oh, my goodness. Do we probably don't have time for a founders?
Yes, this is actually what Pete texted us earlier. This is the guy high on edibles.
A black guy, by the way. Yeah.
Why do white people make their edibles so strong? What are you running from? Why am I tasting colors? I just wanted to go to Target. Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car has turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. Not an astronaut. I'm so high.
I'm tasting
and
colors.
Right there. Yeah. And you can see him and everything. Ay. Oh, mercy. Well, coming up, holy crap in sports. By the latest on politics, a couple of wins for Donald Trump. Temporary by the Supreme Court, but wins indeed. And a rather bizarre experience at the DMV for the Kimmer today. And so much more stuff coming up, too. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, Tuesday, Braves in town. Here we go. Stand by.
Really?
Yeah.
Kimmer Show is live on your ride home on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station, Extra 1063.
Still here, Elisa Brady, Fox News. That message moments ago from a coal miner at the White House.
Prior administrations have done all they could to eliminate the coal industry.
Calling that an uneducated and unethical approach. This during an energy event with the president.
Pound for pound, coal is the single most reliable, durable, secure, and powerful form of energy there is on Earth today.
President Trump just signing several executive orders on coal, including one aimed at investing billions of dollars in the next generation of coal technology. Another imposes a moratorium on policies that would shut coal plants. New Trump tariffs kick in tomorrow, even as many countries try to get new trade deals with the U.S.
These countries greatly respect President Trump and the sheer power of the American market.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt says the president will use leverage from the U.S. economy to make tailored deals with American workers in mind, and that he's willing to talk to any country, including China. But for now, Beijing faces even more penalties for failing to heed a warning about rolling back a retaliatory tariff on U.S. goods. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Donald Trump poured gasoline on our global economy and lit a match with his devastating trade war.
Stocks sank in the end today after an earlier rally, the Dow dropping 320 points. The president meeting with House Republicans, still some skeptical about a budget bill.
We're expecting that there's going to be movement in the House this week that would pass the framework for the budget package. But then all the details need to be filled in. And so really, after we get through this first hurdle, it's really not clear how long it will take to get all the details filled out and get both the House and the Senate somewhere where they could consolidate and come to a compromise and agree on something.
Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn on Capitol Hill. No word on any lawmakers changing their minds in the House GOP. America is listening to Fox News.
U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active-duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder bright and blank. Ready on your dog, target. Hair, help, hair. Still live, hair, help. Road guards out. Hair, help, hair. I just realized my allergies are really killing me from all the stuff out there. All of a sudden now, I haven't done this. Well, when I'm alone, I don't talk. I'll say things out loud once in a while while I'm watching TV or whatever I'm doing, walking around. I'll just go start screaming stuff. But I basically don't speak to anybody. I don't see anybody during the day, 5 days a week and 7 days a week. The other days, if I'm not talking to somebody at the stable, I'm not talking to
You're a hermit.
I'm a hermit. I just don't speak. So when I am, and all of a sudden I realized we were talking about how much the pollen and all that stuff that is in there, and I'm having to go hard trying making my mouth move down after 2 hours, a lousy 2 hours.
You're like the crazy people in the Middle East. Remember Life of Brian, the Monty Python movie? And that guy, the hermits would go 30 years without speaking, and he jumped into the pit and landed on his foot, and he said something after 30 years.
30 years worth. Anyway, it's all good. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230, if you'd like to join us. A lot of newsy stuff going on. In fact, you were just mentioning the markets. They just saw a couple of headlines.
Chinese, Japanese markets up.
And again, I noticed this morning, last night, they were talking about, if Donald Trump doesn't stop all this, we're going to be in the nuclear winter financially and stuff like this. So the first thing this morning, the stock market's up 1,000 points. The NASDAQ's up 600. Or I mean, it's unbelievable.
Like 200-300 under.
300 up or whatever. But
no,
still,
it's under.
Oh, it went under. Well, but again, under. That's fine. I mean,
it's not the end of the world.
And again, didn't they show like 5 years ago? In fact, compared to last year, we're still up or the same as a year ago. So, I mean, nothing bad's happened. And by the way, it's working. Donald Trump now has 60 nations. Is 70, that possible? 70. There are only... How many nations in the whole world? 90? I mean, there's only like 100, maybe 100 nations in the whole world.
I think Georgia has more counties.
Well, anyway, so most of the countries in the world are begging Donald Trump to get him a deal.
Siri, how many countries are there on planet Earth?
Here's an answer from thoughtco.com.
195.
Wow.
So almost as many as...
Yeah. But again, I mean, that's hysterical. And again, Donald Trump is going all in. He's going full banana. He's changing the world. Yeah. He's saying, okay, you want to negotiate with me? Not only are we going to talk about tariffs, we're going to talk about money you're supplying for our troops in your country. We're going to talk about how much you owe us for taking care of the so-and-so. I mean, all boom, boom, boom. He's got a whole list of stuff that they're going to have to deal with Donald Trump for the every other major country in the world.
And come with your best deal, because it's not one size fits all.
That's right. We'll make a deal with you, but if you don't charge, and China says no, so he says, well, yours is going up again tomorrow.
China's in a lot of trouble. I'm afraid they might lash out militarily.
I don't know how they can be self-sustaining. Their economy's collapsing,
and it's going to get worse because all the old people there, like here, your retirements in 401ks or stuff like that. It's kind of diversified. Most people here in America, in China, a lot of the people for decades now have been putting their money in housing, and they've been building these apartments and condos and stuff.
Yeah,
there's not enough people to move into them,
right.
So they're just going to sit there empty, and these people will have no retirement. They were counting on that. And this is starting to hit worse and worse.
And yet they're still, we heard again yesterday that they're still building more coal plants.
They were something like 200 a year a few years ago. I don't know if they're still doing that.
Where are they going to get people to work in them? I mean, they're trying to bribe young girls now, high school girls, to have babies.
In China?
Yeah. Didn't we say yesterday?
Yeah, their demographics are going down, just like Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Japan's
they're paying girls to have babies.
Japan figured out about 30 years ago to try and turn it around, and they haven't, but at least they're doing a better job than Europe is about demographics.
Yeah. By the way, a couple of quick things on speaking of the tariffs, just for the record, a few of the things that may change: Jaguar, Range Rover, and Land Rover vehicles, all major manufactured in Britain. They're now saying we're not going to send any to America for a while until we figure out what's going on with the tariff. So that'll have some effect. And if they do come in, they'll be more expensive. High-tech goods from China, including manufacturing of electronics and high-tech items like lasers, high-powered magnets for wind turbines, jet engine coatings, Tesla cars. China will investigate shipping X-ray tubes which are used in CT scans, potentially impacting Americans' medical screenings. Swiss watches, Rolex, Breitling, and Audemars Piguet. It's not Piaget. Wait for the tariff situation to come down. Those will be stopped. Kids' toys, Tonka trucks, Care Bears, Lincoln Logs will be sold out in America. They're made by Boca Raton Company, but they're halted shipments of all the toys made in China because they'd have to pay 104% tariff to get them back to our country to sell them in here. Things like the Nintendo Switch 2 game was made in Japan. That's on hold. Stuff like that. On the other hand, this is kind of fun to know, too. Doge, energy deficiency people, have made 51 million cuts from the African Development Foundation alone. The African Development Foundation. For example, here's where the money was going. $230,000 for organic shea butter in Burkina Faso. Okay? $230,000. $250,000 spent on mango drying facilities in the Ivory Coast. $240,000 for marketing pineapple juice in Benin, whatever that is.
Africa.
$100,000 to increase yogurt production in Uganda. $85,000 for a business incubator for spa and wellness entrepreneurs in Nigeria. They spent almost $100,000 for incubator spa wellness people in Nigeria for entrepreneurs. Okay. $50,000 to train farmers how to grow dragon fruit in Senegal. $50,000 spent on a WhatsApp marketing chat bot in Kenya. Let's see, $4.7 billion by the Department of Agriculture for a contract including $145,000 to have the climate change in Peru investigated. $10 million for gender equity in the Mexican workplace. $12 million for worker empowerment in South America. $6 million for improving respective workers' rights in Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. On and on and on. Also underused federal buildings, duplicate leases, duplicate agencies and programs. They've already saved, as of Monday, from that one thing, $140 billion.
Of our money.
Of our money.
Every tax dollar you've ever spent has been wasted.
Again,
that you've paid.
And it's even more than every tax dollar that you have spent in your entire life. Everybody who can hear me, basically. Every tax dollar you've spent paid. In fact, that one program where the person developed a test to see whether people would go and like to national parks, it turned out to be a 10-question quiz which was taken on the internet, and for that the program got almost $1 billion. All the money, all your friends, everybody you've ever known has ever spent in your taxes, all that tax money went for that one program. Yeah, 10-question paper quiz on the internet.
Wasted. Where do they get off taking our money and sending it overseas? Not to help people or feed people, but just basically this bull crap.
Yeah. And not only that, as I recall, one of the first things they discovered was that this entire agency, not one request for money was ever turned down. No one ever said no.
Our city should look like Abu Dhabi. Those futuristic things they got going, what Shanghai looks like. That's what our city, every one of our cities should look like that. Yeah. Instead, we hand the cities over to the Democrats and watch them fall into ruin and decay.
There wouldn't be any reason for having inner city
Why are we putting up with this? There's no reason for anyone to be poor in this country.
Every classroom should have no more than 10 kids with 4 teachers. I mean,
real
seriously,
teachers.
People, helpers.
No unions.
They try to get you to learn and understand and think and process. Because the job's coming. AI is going to change. Oh, my God.
You think the Khan Academy's done a lot? Wait till it's AI.
Well, again, it should have been Khan K-A-H-N Academy. We've talked about for years. And that's like your own personal tutor, basically, helping you. You need to know how to do this geometry problem. We'll
have you seen the new way the Chinese do math?
No.
Oh, my God. They showed, South Korea South Korea's on the cutting edge of math, right? Yeah. They had 2 little girls go up to a board, the South Korean way of doing, of adding and subtracting and multiplying. And they had the little Chinese girl, and the Chinese girl did it, and I'm still haven't quite figured out how she did it. I even went through the steps of how she did it. It's a new way of multiplying and everything. You know how we were taught.
The new math.
Carry over the 1 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, that's what the South Korean girl was doing, and she was doing it quickly. The Chinese girl went up there and went bloop, 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 and walked away.
Got the answer.
And got the same answer. The right answer. And I looked at it, not too closely, but I looked at it trying to figure out what is this way of doing it? It's basically they go by 100. Like, it's 97 times 98. Well, the first thing she does is look at the 97 and says, well, that's close to 100. So that's basically, I'll add this up and it gets to 3. And I'm sitting there looking at, well, how does 97 come 3? Because 97 is 3 less than 100.
Right.
And then they start from there. And it still comes out with the right answer.
You want to hear?
It's scary.
This is true.
True.
My father could do that in his head. It's a trick. He would do he tried to explain to me once. We said, well, then like the 97 is 3 away from the 100. So when you take the second row in the multiplication tables, you would subtract this. I mean, there's a thing. And he had one of those minds. You know, he built the Polaris and Poseidon missiles, but he could do that in his head. I thought, oh my God.
What happened?
It's a trick. I know.
What happened?
My brother Gene was an economics major at Williams, the valedictorian, the hardest school in America to get into.
You're not helping your cause here.
My sister got 800 on the college boards. 800 out of 800.
Genetics should have come into play at some point.
Well,
here.
I got the looks instead. I got the incredible personality.
And the fastball.
Yeah, the crybaby who started smoking when he was 9. Yeah, that's me. All right.
The fastball.
Oh my God, the looks for radio. Oh Lordy! All right, oh my God, it's already 5:14. All right, now we'll get to our sports coming up next. Holy crap! It's Pete coming up with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out, Braves in town, baby. Here they come.
Listen to the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Don't miss the first MLB All-Star Week event at Truist Park as talent meets tradition in the 3rd annual HBCU Swingman Classic presented by T-Mobile and powered by the MLBPA Youth Development Foundation. Join fans, athletes, and alumni to watch Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. shine a light on 50 of the best young ball players from HBCUs around the country on baseball's biggest stage, July 11th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today at allstargame.com/swingman.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on this station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to firstlibertyga.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department, and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus our disclosed fee guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit HonestCarGuy.com.
Tax refund season is here. Why not invest in your home? For over 25 years, homeowners have trusted Southern Exteriors with over 200,000 projects completed across 6 states. From windows and doors to roofing, siding, and gutters, we get the job done right the first time. Maximize your refund with 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any project. Boost your curb appeal or tackle those much-needed repairs today. Get your free estimate now at southernexteriors.co.
All right, coming up, we got a story on death and coming back to life more than once. We shall see. Anyway, it's Kevin Pete Flounder, and now Braves are in town and sponsored by RBM of Atlanta. Holy crap at sports with Pete Davis.
Well, let's get the bad news out of the way right off the bat here.
I can't believe this.
One of them's really bad. Former Major League pitcher for the Braves, Octavio Dotel, among the dozens, died after the roof of the nightclub collapsed in the Dominican Republic early this morning. 44 people at least have been killed, including the sister of 7-time All-Star Nelson Cruz. Wow. It's just horrible. Oh my God, it's about 1 a.m. It was during a merengue concert.
Yeah,
it happened.
The roof collapsed or something?
Yeah. And they don't know why, but the roof collapsed. And this last hour, Mark Bowman reporting that Ronaldo Lopez's arthroscopic surgery today in L.A. turned out to be a cleanup. Oh, great. No structural damage. He'll be shut down until he's reevaluated in July. He probably won't pitch the rest of the season. He might at the end of the season. Was it
last year?
What about
same
last
thing?
year?
I mean,
well, they kid gloves last year. He had a really good season, but toward the end, they were not pitching as much. But I'm telling you, you got guys with he had never pitched that long before, and he was trying to convert to a starter, and I guess his arm couldn't take it right now. So hopefully it'll get better next year. But and Chris Sale, he's been injured in the past, so you're hoping that won't happen. He was healthy last year until the playoffs.
Is this all the new thing with speed and torque?
Bad luck.
Bad
luck. The last year or so has been bad luck for the Braves. And despite what some idiot fresh off vacation told you yesterday.
Well, no, it's a mistaken.
The Braves-Phillies series starts tonight, not last night.
Well, no, either one night is fine.
At Truist Park. Ace against ace, the 1-0 Zach Wheeler versus the 0-1 Chris Sale tonight. The national champion in basketball was crowned last night.
National championship is in the balance. Florida leads it by 2. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Short. He walked. He can't touch it. He can't. 1 second. And it's over. Florida is back on top of the
touch this.
Well, he put the ball down.
He kind of lost it. He kind of fumbled it a little bit.
And once it's down, you can't pick it up again. It'd be a double dribble or a turnover.
I guess so.
Yeah.
In my dream over a month ago, I had the Badgers beating the Gators.
Yeah.
Well, so I had one of the teams in the final, just not the winner. Florida eked past the Cougars 65-63. If not for Will Richard, the Gators would have been blown out in the first half. His threes kept him in the game. At one point, he had 14 of their 28 points.
Wow.
He finished with just 18, but that was enough in that first half. He kept him there. Houston blew a 12-point lead in the second half, and I thought it was over. The great defense and rebounding of Houston, but Florida would not stop. They just would not stop. Even though they were traveling, they were turning the ball over. It was just a bad decision after bad decision with the ball, but they were at the end.
The first part of that game, I texted Pete and Flounder, and this is the sloppiest basketball game I've ever seen. But man, I wish I'd stayed to watch the end because it was pretty exciting, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah. That's what she said. You're never there at the end.
Yeah, it kind of disappoint me. Oh, sorry.
Florida is the only school to have 3 national championships in both basketball and football.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess because I'm thinking Florida. That was Tebow's years, or who got the what?
He won one. Tebow won one national championship after Ole Miss beat him.
Of all the schools that have great football teams that also have great basketball teams.
You'd think Michigan would have 3 in both.
You would think.
But I guess not.
I'm trying to think of who else, maybe like someone like USC or UCLA.
UCLA was the basketball power, but never really on par with USC.
Isn't that amazing? Is that, you say, the only school?
That's what it says here.
I'll be damned. So I bet that's true.
The worst thing, though, they will be unlivable with Florida fans.
Yeah, they're always unlivable anyway.
Even the Empire State Building lit up in Gator orange and blue.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
they will be insufferable until the world's largest cocktail party when hopefully Georgia will shut them up.
Pound them into the sand.
We'll see. And what a year head coach Todd Golden has had. He started the season under investigation for allegedly stalking a woman. Cleared of that.
No.
Now he's the second youngest coach to win the Natty. At 39, he's 2 years older than Jim Valvano was with the Wolfpack.
And he looks like a kid. He looks like he's in college. He really does.
And remember, they got rid of Mike White, and Georgia snapped him up.
Yeah.
And they got Todd Golden, and it's like, well, they
made a great choice. He knew what he was doing. They relate to him, obviously.
So how much did Golden receive as a bonus for winning it all?
$16,000.
Higher.
$41,000.
Higher.
$119,000.
50,000 American dollars.
50,000?
It's not a lot.
No, it's not much. I'm surprised. I was joking that it was only.
Well, he's only been there 2-3 years.
Yeah, but still, that'd be like $500,000. My God.
We'll call his agent.
Well, I'm going to speak to somebody. I know that.
It's funny you're going to get other people money in these negotiations.
I couldn't quite negotiate a team here. Well, when he says sit down and shut up, here's your offer. I kind of shut the door on that one. I thought this was like negotiation. I don't know. This is different. Okay.
And then he looks up and says, "You're still here?"
Yeah. What are you doing? Get out of my office
and leave my pen. Don't take that pen.
Security.
Gators player Walter Clayton Jr. had to tell the Gator mascot twice to get the heck out of his family pic with the trophy. Twice. I felt bad for the mascot.
Wrong, man.
Rory McIlroy says he's just trying to block out the noise at Augusta this week.
Yeah, good luck.
And that's just from our bosses over there yelling at him.
People that are all over there.
It's his 11th chance to win that elusive green jacket since blowing his big lead on Sunday several years back. Can you imagine? It's been 11 years since he did that.
I remember that, too.
Oh, my God. If he does win, McIlroy becomes just the 6th golfer to win the Masters and complete the career Grand Slam. For what Jay has in the box, who are the 5 golfers with the career Grand Slam?
Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus.
Okay, Tiger Woods,
Jack Nicklaus, probably Ben Hogan.
Yes, Ben Hogan. Very good. Very good.
I don't think Arnold Palmer ever won the PGA, so he is not. That's 3. How about? It's got to be one of the old. I'm not going to remember the old timers' names.
You want a hint?
How about Nick Faldo?
Nope, not Nick Faldo.
Yeah, hints.
He's an international player.
It's not Tony Jacklin.
Nope, not Tony Jacklin. Farther south.
Oh, I know who it is. The Spanish man who died of the brain cancer, El Toro man. The Spanish man, oh, Christ.
I forget his name since you said it. I want to say Arancha Sanchez Vicario, but that's not it.
Sabrina, oh, God.
Well, anyway, it's not him.
Sefi Ballesteros.
It's not him.
Oh, well, then it's the other Spanish kid, the other one.
Farther south. Think really south.
Rio de Janeiro. Oh, how about Vercero de Vicendo?
Right. Go east, young man.
Oh,
east and south.
I don't know.
What's east of Rio de Janeiro?
I don't know.
What continent
Honduras.
is east of
Gary Player.
Gary Player,
of course. Well,
and the last one you're not going to get.
No, it's
Gene Sarazen.
Gene Sarazen, who had the double eagle on number 13.
Right.
Very famous.
Now you remember.
Now
The Hawks visit the Magic tonight. And by the way, the Nuggets have fired just 2 years after winning the NBA championship. They fired their coach and GM today. He's got a winning record. In 10 years,
and we're still,
and they're still. They've got above 500. They got a better record than the Hawks.
Something bad must have happened. They must have found out something internally that he was stealing money or something.
They're just tired of it. Yankees outfielder Cody Bellinger out of commission after throwing up all night. Seems the Daredevil ordered wings in Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
Could have told him.
It's
like ordering filet mignon at the Claremont Lounge. All right, Flounder, we ready? Today in sports history, April 8th, who had the better call?
Stay a professional and pitch his game. 1 ball and no strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away. Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
How's Vince Scully in the Dodgers radio network there? Or was it this call?
The other call.
On 7-14. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. The fireworks are going. Henry Aaron is coming around third. His teammates are at home plate. And listen to this crowd.
Milo Hamilton plays. All right, okay, that's enough of Milo there.
That's what.
I hate to say it, but Milo had the better call.
100 times better. Yeah.
Well, it's good. Vince Scully's overrated.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Vince Scully's overrated.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry, that goes against everything.
Yeah,
but
the azure skies of the Chavez Ravine. But the thing about Milo Hamilton, who, by the way, I did not get along personally with him. I used to work right next door to him in the same news building.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he said there's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron, not Hank. He said, and it's Henry Aaron. I just thought, the whole thing, obviously he had planned it out. I thought about at least most of it, and I thought it was kind of classy. I thought that was a nice tribute.
What's funny, the other day when Ovechkin passed Gretzky, the guy almost word for word copied what Milo did.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
Amazing.
There's a new hockey champion score of all time. I'll be darned.
Let's see. Number 715 off Al Downing, who to his dying, maybe Al's still with us, I don't know, said he was not grooving it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go down in history as the guy who did it. The game delayed to the celebration. Lots of people who were never there now claim to have been.
Hold on.
You can tell who
my
the liars
starter,
are
my wife
because
and I.
they're the most vocal about being there.
We were there. We almost slept because it was cold and drizzly. We were way up in the upper right field stands, and it was cold and drizzly, and he'd already batted a couple of times around. And we said, well, should we try to beat the crowd? And we said, no, we're here. What the heck?
Yeah, that would have been a bad mistake.
Oh, it'd be stupid. So, and we didn't really seriously, it was just, and all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, to this day, I have never heard a crowd, a bunch of people in any circumstance with a louder, more piercing, awesome noise tribute than I did for that night.
Good for him. Good for him.
Really,
he did it.
Spectacular.
Let's see. He finished with how many home runs?
It's 747 or something like that. 452 maybe.
755, but in my mind it's 756 because Tim McCarver stole one from him. Claimed he had stepped out of the box and the umpire took the home run away from him.
That's right.
McCarver was the catcher. And finally, 1997, and the Mariners win over the Indians. Imps pitcher Josias Manzanillo, who did not wear a protective cup, hit in the groin by a Manny Ramirez 107-mile-per-hour line drive. Now a firm believer in using protective gear, the 29-year-old reliever goes on the 15-day disabled list, only 15 days, for the surgery needed to repair a tear in his testicles.
A tear, my God, man. He's a eunuch.
Talk about learning a hard, soft lesson there. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
Hello, there's sports.
Pete Davis right there. 532. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and so much more coming up here with 106.3. We got stuff coming up, and people, and Braves in town, and the Phil. And by the way, Chris Sale, come on, baby, let's go.
Well, it's not the pitching.
No, that's right. That's right.
Got a new hitting guy.
Gotta go.
Not hitting.
Gotta go. Here we are. First pitch swinging, baby.
Be here to enjoy the Left's Meltdown together. Extra 106.3 is dialed into all the latest breaking news and headlines, so you don't have to suffer through the left-wing spin. Get it right from Atlanta's only conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
You know, if you didn't hear me talking about this yesterday when I was driving down to Florida, this guy was over on my right. He put on his blinker without even looking and swerved me off just about into the full median strip doing 80. And I'm thinking to myself, if he had hit me and then taken off or something, what am I going to do? Argue with somebody about whatever? No, David Van Sant's. You got to have David Van Sant's phone number in your car because he's an attorney who does, car accident type stuff, among other things, by the way. Van Sant Law, David used to work for the insurance companies. Now, we love insurance companies. I've used them many times, so have you. However, they have their charts and graphs and tables, and they have their little thing that they're that. And David says, whoa. This is a different situation entirely. It's not just about, anyway, you don't want to argue with them. Let David do it, because when they see him ringing up on the phone, chances are they're going to pay more than they want to, because he tries to make them, and it works all the time. And that's why, if you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. So he's in there for you. And number one, makes them pay for more than they want to. It works. Complications, insurance stuff, to let him take care of it for you. Here's the number, 855-GA-INJURY. Online, vansantlaw.com.
Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. Now that President Trump has unburdened us from what could have been, our country's finally headed in the right directions. But the Democrats are screaming and yelling and losing their minds. And unfortunately, the bad guys are still here, and they want your stuff. Thank you, Joe Biden. And customers are still reporting break-ins and thefts of their hard-earned valuables. Don't wait till it's too late. Get a quality safe from the Safe House. We carry the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. And remember, gun safes are sales tax-free at Atlanta Safe House. So give us a call or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Shooting drills.
A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve. But one who genuinely cares about each player
You have what it takes. We got this.
can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
The Georgia Tech men's basketball team is poised to continue making history at the Thrillerdome next season, and you don't want to miss a minute of the action. Relive amazing moments like when Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets took down number 21 Louisville at home last year by securing your seat today. Season tickets for the 2025-26 Georgia Tech men's basketball season are now on sale. Save your seat for all the on-court action at ramblinwreck.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Not only do we all belong to the government by default, we all belong to government unions. Is that the process that's going on in the minds of these people, blindly criticizing any attempt to cut back the size and power of the federal government? Think about it.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Let me take you down.
All right, the Obamas are getting divorced. It's obvious. They're going to lose their homes.
He's going to try women now.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, he tried the replacement. Didn't seem to work. We'll get to the bottom of that in a minute. Kimmer Pete and Flounder, 5:30.
It was trending for a while that he was secretly in a romance with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, but that's not true.
Oh, my God. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, Lord. Anyway, back to the show. Kimmer Pete and Flounder, 5:38. John Lennon, 1967, took his Rolls Royce to coach builders in Surrey to see if they could paint his car psychedelic. Based on an idea by a guy called The Fool, a member of a Dutch team of gypsy artists, the commissioner people hired a guy named Steve Weaver to make a pattern of scroll and flowers for the Phantom 5 Rolls Royce. The cost of having the work done in 1967 was about $2,500. They also put a custom interior sound system installed, as well as a Sony TV, a telephone, and a portable refrigerator in John Lennon's Phantom 5 Rolls Royce. Our birthday list, Pete Davis, little sports thing here. Felix Hernandez is 39 years old, former Seattle Mariners pitcher, won the Cy Young Award in 2010, pitched a perfect game in 2012, signed a $175 million contract in 2013.
And wasn't too afraid to pitch during the China virus hoax, so he quit the Braves.
Yeah. Man, that kind of stinks. Sucks. A quick update history things here for you. First of all, a terrible day in 1991. Horse racing's all-time victory leader, Willie Shoemaker, lost control of his car while he was driving drunk. He had an alcohol level of 0.13, which is well over. The wreck left him a quadriplegic, for which he successfully sued the Ford Motor Company for $1 million. And they paid him the money even though he was drunk at the time. I guess they said the car should have reacted better or something. And one more quickie, a salute to Frank Robinson. In 1975 this day, against the Yankees in Cleveland, the Indians' Frank Robinson becomes the first black guy to manage a game in Major League Baseball, and he also batted second. And, in fact, he homered in his first at-bat in Cleveland's 5-3 win.
Some people say Ernie Banks filled in for someone who was ejected once for the Cubs.
I know that's a point.
Or was it Buck O'Neill? Somebody said...
I hadn't heard Ernie. I don't know. I hadn't heard about Ernie Banks. Buck O'Neill,
I just got a call from a member from the YouTube. You may want to change your PIN.
My what?
On your phone.
What do you mean?
The code to get into your phone.
Why? How would someone know that? Why? What happened?
Why? Because I just poked it in there?
I don't know. Someone just called and said that they saw you do it on the screen, and so
they saw Pete or me.
Pete.
They saw Pete and change your PIN. Uh-oh. Well, that's got to be bad.
No one's going to get his phone. It's a friendly FYI.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
Thanks
for saying that.
Anyway,
I appreciate it.
One more thing. Frank Robinson played for the Reds, the Orioles, Dodgers, Angels. He was 39 in his 20th year as a player when the Indians hired him after the 74 season. And then he became the first black manager in the National League when the Giants hired him to replace Dave Bristol, also managed the Orioles Expos in Washington.
Dave Bristol.
Anyway, so that's a little thing there for the thing here. 404-741-1230. I had an amazing experience today. And again, thank you to all the people who helped get my chopper back. And I mean, it was a dead chopper. And the people, Kevin, my Delta pilot buddy, got a hold of my daughter, Jennifer, and she did this YouTube stuff. And all you people, I can't thank everybody enough. And I'll never know all the people who helped out chipping in to have this done for me. I'm still overwhelmed. And the Steve Studstill, very famous North Georgia a motorcycle builder and mechanic. Steve, you did an incredible job of putting this thing together. It's remarkable. And so today, I finally, my insurance company, I over the phone, I still had my license plate from like 6 years ago when I took it off the road because it was broken. And so I called the insurance company, and I got my insurance company thing, and they sent it to me over the. They emailed me something over in my phone, and said, "Well, show this to the people at the DMV, and you can and I've got your title, you've got your title, so that'll be fine." So I went to the DMV this morning. I said, "What the heck?" About 9 o'clock this morning, and I'm expecting a total nightmare where I live in Alpharetta. So I walk in. I'm next. I'll go right to the window. And she says, "Oh, well, we can't really, it's not in our system. We can't really look at your phone. We have to have something. If it's not in writing, we have to have it in our computer system." And so I called the insurance company back again, and they said, "Well, it should be in there. We put it in there. It wasn't in there." So then I had to go to Staples and have them print. It took me like 40 minutes at Staples. The guy was very nice, but very busy. And I finally he took care of me and printed out what I had in my phone. And then I said, "Well, I think I'm going to go back to the DMV." I blew my whole morning. I didn't do crap. I started working at 5:30 this morning, got done by 9, and then I didn't get back till 11 because I was doing it. So I went back. I started taking another trip. How stupid is this? I'm thinking about it. Now it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, well, I'll never go back to the DMV and get back in again. It'll never happen. So I said, screw it. I said, I'm going back to the DMV. So I parked right on the other side, and I whip in the ball. I go through the tax office. I go to the damn thing. Son of a gun. I'm like the second guy there and get it done again. And this time I get it. And I figured for sure I'm going to have to pay 5 years or 6 years of back taxes for not having the motorcycle thing registered, whatever, with my stuff on the plate. And it cost me $25, and it was done in like 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, it was the darndest, nicest.
Well, you know why? Because you can do all that stuff online now. So a lot of the times, the DMVs
and they
aren't
send you
as busy.
the tag in the mail or something?
Yeah, they're not as busy as they used to be.
I mean, and by the way, they were all these black chicks, and they were sweet and happy, and they looked like models, and they were, in fact, one girl said, "Well, it's not in here." I said, "Hey, you," and 2 other black chicks came over and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you." I mean, they were so nice and so sweet, and it was the darndest thing. I've never experienced a DMV thing like I did today.
Nice, very nice.
Seriously, it was a very, very nice story. Let's see. I don't know where to go next.
Didn't just a month or so ago, James Carville said that the Trump administration would be over today. It would have imploded.
Yeah.
They said it a month. He gave it a month.
Yeah.
It's not imploded. Now he says anybody who works with Trump is a Nazi collaborator.
Oh, my God. In fact, tell the latest 2 things. Who's that girl from Texas? The Corbett, not the chick,
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. Tell the little people what she just said.
She says we need to have more legals come over because we done picking cotton.
That's right. She's using her black thing now. You know, she's not. She all of a sudden talks like this. She's a lawyer. She doesn't talk like that except when she's on TV.
So we need to make the illegals now our slaves? Yeah. Is that what she's saying?
And then who was the black guy on one of the other network stations who said, he said, clearly 78 million Americans are a bunch of racists, would rather vote for a white felon than a black woman.
That black woman, every day, all day.
Again, they're still pulling out the race card.
And it doesn't work.
I'm glad. I hope that those 2 are the head of the new Democrat ticket for the next election. I hope that Crockett chick, Jasmine Crockett, what a freaking fraud. Well, so is Carmela, side piece. Empty suits fraud. Oh, man, it's 5:45 already. Holy cow. Caribbean Flounder, how you doing? Look out.
Something you need to tease something that we haven't done yet.
Oh, it's a rainy day. Oh, my God.
You forgot rainy day.
Well, we got excited.
We can always play it tomorrow.
No. We're coming back with it. We promise.
Miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your Extra 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the Extra app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTRA 106.3.
Kevin McAlpin here, alongside Evan Ward, host of North Georgia's Retirement Game Plan, heard right here on Extra 106.3. And Evan, one of the most common questions financial advisors get is, can I retire now? Obviously, this can apply to folks who want to retire early or those who are 65 or older just wanting to know if they've done enough saving over the years. So when a client calls, when they stop by your office, how can you help them determine if they are able to finally retire?
That is the number one question that we get the first time somebody comes in our office. How do I even know whether I've got enough to get where I need to be? And I think my industry does an awful job of giving you at least the right facts to be able to make that decision. How do I know Now, the actual creation of an income plan that can take the stresses and the risks and reduce any kind of concerns that you have in retirement, that can get pretty complex. That's why you have a person like me on your team. But the actual knowing whether you have enough to be able to retire is a pretty simple formula that we'd love to share and be able to show clients, hey, you're in a good spot, or no, you're not in a good spot, but if we do these things, we can get back on track and retire ahead of schedule or on your schedule that you want. And that's what we focus on. That's our primary concern when somebody walks in our office.
If you are wondering if you can retire, well, that's why you got to pick up the phone and call Evan and the team at Atlas Retirement today. They're going to give you a complimentary review of your savings and investments. That number is 678-736-7799. 678-736-7799. Or get more details anytime online. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Escape from the city into an outdoor sanctuary offering 36 holes of championship golf at Stone Mountain Golf Club. Located inside Georgia's most visited attraction, Stone Mountain Golf Club offers golfers of all skill levels 2 unforgettable golf courses. Stonemont, designed by Robert Trent Jones Sr., will test every club in your bag and offers an official U.S. Kids Golf Family course. Lakemont features stunning vistas of Stone Mountain while winding around the lake, providing an unforgettable golf experience. With resort accommodations at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort, our stay and play package offers a perfect getaway for buddies groups, couples, and families. Our full-service restaurants offer delicious food and beverages and is open 7 days a week to serve you. Our PGA professional staff would be delighted to help plan your next company or charity tournament and provide an exceptional experience for your organization. Plan your escape to Stone Mountain Golf Club by visiting stonemountaingolfclub.com for more information.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. You know, a great smile can make you more successful as well as make you happy. Yes, it's true. And your smile's waiting for you at my dentist, Dr. Dina Giesler, my friend for 30 years and dentist forever. This woman at Atlanta Smiles, atlantasmiles.com, the dentist with the doggy. It's really true, whether it's just regular cleaning or bridges or crowns or are your teeth bothering a little bit, maybe a little ache or something, or your gums it's not going to get better on its own. Take it from me, I found that out the hard way. Taking care of your teeth and gums and everybody's happy. And by the way, you can relax with Dr. Dina. This is an individual, private VIP experience. The latest technology. She used AI to get my last thing done at my last visit. And don't forget the doggy. She's a little doggy to take a nap in your lap while you're getting your work done. And this staff, these ladies are angels, I promise you. You'll love going there. A veteran herself, Dr. Dina, 10% veterans discount off the top. Tell them when you call. 404-262-7733. Your smile's waiting. Get the doggy at atlantasmiles.com.
So, the doc says I have ED. ED. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just an abbreviation for conditions so many men have. If I was to be honest, I probably also have a little OCD. I know I have a great HMO. Heck, I even have 3 weeks of PTO. Look, don't let a few letters get you down. If you have ED, there's HELP. Go see Dr. Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He's an ED specialist that will turn your life around PDQ. ED happens to a lot of men as we age. And just FYI, Dr. Deal can give you back the confidence you need to perform on the JOB. So, ready to take the first step? Quit yelling WTF at your little BFF and visit tbtofga.com. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can fix your ED ASAP. And before you know it, you'll be screaming OMG.
I'm getting in the game. The world won't be the same. I'm good to go.
Call 404-777-1911 or visit tbtofga.com.
Yeah, here we go. At Motown, baby. Supremes. 1964. The Supremes record Where Did Our Love Go at Motown in Detroit. The song would become their first #1 single. Originally founded as the Primettes in Detroit, the Supremes were the most commercially successful of Motown's acts and are to date America's most successful vocal group. Let me say that again. America's most successful group as of today, with 12 #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100. How is that possible over the Beatles and the Stones and the
American group? Is that what it just said?
It says America's most successful. Yeah, I guess. Well, what about the Beach Boys? Anyway, whatever.
I don't think they had 12 number ones, the Beach Boys, did they?
I guess, apparently not. I thought they'd had 12 on Pet Sounds.
Siri, how many number one hits do the Beach Boys have? Thank you.
Here's an answer from
4.
Oh, I'll be
4.
darned. No kidding. Cool. And on this day in history, let's see. Do a very quick. In fact, I forgot how he pulled it off. In 1983.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Magician David Copperfield makes his Statue of Liberty disappear on his TV special. He wanted to perform the illusion because his mother was an immigrant. David Copperfield said, "She impressed upon me how precious our liberty is and how easily it can be lost. And then one day it occurred to me I could show with magic how we take our freedom for granted. Sometimes we don't realize how important something is until it's gone." And he made it disappear, and I forgot how he did it. Do you remember anything about how he did it? He had a screen up on the boat or something. It took away the screen, and the damn thing was gone.
He paid everybody, basically, to look the other way.
They sank it and then refloated it late that night. I think it was an incredible story. Anyway, 5:53, boys. Shall we, Flounder? At your leisure, sir. As we begin now the tribute to you, the little people. I'm almost too excited to start here. Flounder, are we all on the same page, ready to go? Or got your fingers in there? And now, another exciting edition of Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where we, by golly, just bathe in the glory of bringing the teeny ray of joy into your otherwise miserable lives. Today's episode, well, I can see your nuts. Yes, the scene. An ordinary doctor's office in ordinary town America. An ordinary man was naked on a cold metal examination table. The ordinary doctor comes in the room and sits right down.
So tell me, what seems to be ailing you today?
The naked cold man replies,
"Doctor, my back hurts when I wake up in the morning."
Well, wake up in the afternoon then.
Excuse me?
That'll be $500, please.
And scene. Oh, what a turnaround. Oh, it's incredible. And I look at the YouTube crowd there. No, they're jumping up and down. They have signs. Oh, God, they made signs. Holy smokes. It's a miracle. Pete David, after a 2-week delay, to knock it out of the freaking park, man, when the Braves are in town, holy crap. I just, on behalf of all of us, the Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, once again, just for you, the little people. Yes, it's another tribute here at 106.3. Oh, mercy. By the way, one last thing on the tag office. They actually, I could pay in cash. How few places even want you to think about cash anymore?
I think the government has to take its own cash.
I know. It says it on the thing. You must accept this.
And by the way, I changed my passcode in case everybody was trying to get into my phone.
8442?
No, it's 777.
Anyway, every once in a while, stories like this come up, and I thought we'd maybe throw this in the air for you today. Theories about the afterlife. A former Marine and businessman named Danian Brinkley, he's now 74 years old, tells this story in a new book about twice experience. He said he got hit by lightning. It went into the side of my head, above my ear, down my spine. It threw me in the air. I see the ceiling. It slams me back down. A ball of fire comes through the room and blinds me. I am burning. I am on fire. I am paralyzed. He was taken in an ambulance to the doctors, and they said, "You're dead." 30 minutes later, he woke up in the morgue in the hospital. His soul temporarily left his body. He said he flatlined. There was a flashback of his entire life. And then 2 years after the incident, he learned to walk again. Then 10 years later, he was having open heart surgery and once again basically died. However, the second time, he said, he was reunited with his angelic instructors and learned how to use his new psychic and spiritual gifts to aid the dying and the desperate. His near-death encounters may have some truth, they say, because there are signs of normal and near-normal brain activity up to an hour into resuscitation. They show these experiences are unique and universal. They're different. They use the brain waves to find out they're not dreams, they're not illusions, and they're not delusions, according to the Grossman School of Medicine in New York. He said, so when you learn you don't die, when you learn you're in a spiritual being and you're not going to go to hell, that's enough to inspire you to change. And now the 74-year-old former jarhead spends his time counseling terminally ill patients and fellow veterans not to fear death.
Well, then who goes to hell?
Well,
the bad people don't go anywhere?
I wonder whether you can talk yourself out of it. I mean, like Tony Soprano said, well, guys, so, gangster, we don't go to hell. We're fighters. It's military. We know what we're in for, so we're doing the right, we're fighting each other. We're fighters. We're not, we don't do anything bad. We just kill people for the reason. We have to have reasons for
Paulie Walnut said, I could do 1,000 years standing on my head.
I got 35,000 years coming up in purgatory. Hell, that's like a weekend. I could do that. So maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe if you think you're going to hell, you are, because you make your self-prophecy or something. Who knows? And who knows? The most incredible mystery we'll never know until it's too late. Now, Flounder's funny.
Please. This is the best time in history to be a grown-up, by the way. We can do whatever we want. Have you noticed grown-ups are having a blast now and kids are miserable? It's all completely flipped. When I was a kid, every grown-up was pissed off, defeated, get off my lawn. Now my friends are 42. All they do is play video games, read comic books, and watch pro wrestling. And every teenager I see now is obsessed with politics and on medication. We won. It's all flipped. Look, I'm 37. By the time my dad was my age, he had 2 kids, a law degree, and owned a home. I have Hulu. I'll ask my friend, I'm like, dude, you're 44, you're going to start a family? He's like, what? I live with my mom. I got a family. Now let's eat these edibles and watch the Avengers. I'm like, all right, let's do it. That's adulthood now. Man, these kids are nice, they're thoughtful, they're compassionate, they're smart, but they're not having any fun. Yeah? You hand me a weed brownie when I was 15, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of weed. Hand a kid a weed brownie now, he's like, whoa, that's a lot of sugar. He's like, I love drugs, but I'm keto.
What the hell's a weed runny?
A weed brownie.
A weed brown? Oh, what's a weed brownie?
It's a brownie that has weed in it.
Oh, yeah, act all innocent.
Shut up. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Boys, tomorrow it's hump day, humpity hump. Hoorah, Semper Fi. Look at all the guys going through the office. That's incredible. Hey, Christine, sing me home, baby. I got to go. You're killing me. They're all coming to see the Braves.
They're here tonight.
God, are the Braves in time? Herb, hoop, look out. You're killing me.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.